Good morning, mussels and mollusks. How you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful time. I'm gonna say hi to those who are chit-chatting. Ow! Thank you for the cookies, Atomic. Uh, Atomic Kitsune? What is this? Hello. Thank you so much for that. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. It is an afternoon, ma'am. How dare you? You were rebranding. I was gonna say, because I was like, I saw Atomic and my brain went raccoon. I went, oh. Well, I hope your rebrand's going well. Hi to Atomic Kitsune and Wolfie, and hi, Mako. It is the afternoon, but this is as close as I get to a morning. My morning is spent taking calls with the VA and stuff. On Thursday, I'm going to be starting late because I actually have I have a dentist appointment, and I'm taking the first chance they give to me to get one because, well, otherwise I have to wait to see them in May, and teeth are expensive, so I'm gonna go with whatever. So I get to see them on Thursday, so I'll just be a little late. That's all. It's your second rebrand, no judgment here. No judgment. I rebranded as a VTuber. I still have clips of me being a, oh no, I don't have any eyebrow expression. There it is. Okay. Hold on. Biscuit. Hold on, I gotta relaunch. I rebranded as a VTuber, so no judgment here whatsoever. There we go. Sorry, I gotta relaunch this up and everything, but I have no eyebrows, so. Oh, you got a new model too? Ooh. Oh, okay. All right. There you go. Well, I can't wait to see the model. I cannot wait. But yeah, so Thursday I'll be a little late. No problem though. I'm sure you'll all be okay without me for a little bit. Let's see. No longer connected to Raccoon. Well, as long as you're happy. I also will be trying to, in the next week, play some of the games that I got from gifts. So I know I've got Schedule 1 and Cluster Truck, though. Yeah, we'll be doing that. So we'll figure that out. No problem. That Cluster Truck I got from Sunny, and Schedule 1 I got from Bam Bam. And Boar's been playing it, so you know, it's all good. All right, let's go ahead and find it. Oh my god, we haven't played Vampire Therapist since January. Oh my goodness. All right, go ahead and pause the music while we're launching up our game. Yes, Vishala, I knew Vampire Therapist would call to you. It's siren song of mental health. Oh, let me get it thrown up here. How you doing, Vishala? Ooh, is this DLC? Wait. Oh, shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. No. Oh, no. Go back. Exit. Yes, that's fine. Wait, what happened?
Hey, bitch!
Hey, bitch. Hey, Sonny. Mental health and vampires, my favorite. I know. I must have clicked something. Sorry, I just got something babooped on my Steam, so give me a second. Ow! Thank you for the candy tits, Sonny. What? Mako. I have no excuses anymore. Mako bought me Repo. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Mako. I mean that, honestly. Thank you. Okay, so these must be things we're supposed to do extra stories. Okay, don't finish it. Gotcha. Cool, continue. Guessing this is the one because it's the latest time. So let's go for it. I know Repo is fun, but I've been watching people play it, and I think it looks fun, and I can't wait to play it, but I just had the excuse, quote unquote, that I didn't have it.
Greetings. You are seeing Dr. Drain again tonight, yes?
That's
Yes.
right. I'm keen to see how he's getting on. That fella's got us wrapped up real tight.
Excuse me.
Do not expect too much change too quickly. It takes a while for thoughts to internalize.
That's
even
true,
when
you
we
got
know
me there,
the truth
Mako.
of them logically. It took me only 2,800 years or so to internalize what I needed.
Speaking of Steam, I saw you got the cluster truck. I did. I didn't get the alert that you sent it to me, Sonny, until like way after I finished. You're doing all right just trying to hack up all the gross stuff you have left from Sinus BS. You know what? I get that. I've been having I think I'm having an allergy because I had the worst sniffles over the weekend. But, you know, it's yeah, I'm hoping that all the gross stuff gets out of your throat soon.
The doc's gonna be too keen to wait that long.
I do not think he will have to. Unlike myself, he has you to guide him.
Oh gosh, I barely know what I'm doing, boss. I'm not sure I can keep track of all these new distortions I know about.
Thank you, Sonny. I did say that I was going to try and play it next
I
week.
do not expect you to. We humans are distortion machines, my friend.
Speaking of which, be right back. Yes, go ahead. Take care of
But let
stuff.
us ensure we address Dr. Drain's core distortion. You know what it is, don't you?
It's being a big old grumpus. It's disqualifying the positive.
It's disqualifying the positive, ain't it?
Dr. Drain does indeed exhibit this cognitive distortion, as we all do.
Hope you all had a great weekend, by the way.
But there is a distortion that truly drives his decision-making. I think you can tell me what it is.
It's the should statements.
That
I
fella's
haven't
a
played
shit
it,
statement
so,
machine,
you know.
I'll tell you what.
I was taking a shot in the dark. Oh, we did decide on something. Come close, chat. Hey, hi. My birthday is next week, and we are going to be celebrating, I'm going to go out for dinner with my family on Sunday, so it doesn't interrupt anything. But on my birthday, I'm going to try my bestest to do a 12-hour stream. Now, one, I'm trying to build up my tolerance. I got told by my doctor that the 2-hour thing is not a hard set limit forever. I just have to build up a tolerance, which means we're going to try our best. I'm going to try when I'm off stream and stuff like that to put some more time in between. But that does mean I still have to take breaks every couple of hours or so. So, you know, get a stretch, make sure everything's going okay, you know. But we're going to try and do a 12-hour stream for my birthday. Okie dokie? Get back into the game.
That's right. We can be certain he will carry this distortion with him, but I would like you to pick the rest to keep in mind, Samuel.
Okay.
Up until this point, you have addressed client distortions in small clusters.
Yep.
But now that you are aware of more cognitive distortions, you will notice them everywhere. We must not use cognitive distortions as weapons to beat our clients with. So pick 4 more to keep in mind during your session.
Okay, yeah.
But what do I do if I detect he's showing the distortions I'm putting aside?
You do not need to address all of them, my friend. You will not catch every distortion, and if you did, I believe your clients would find you irritating.
Okay.
I do not alert you to half of your cognitive distortions. We know that Dr. Drain will exhibit should statements. What else do you think he will come to this session with?
Welcome back, Vishala. I was just mentioning that I'm going to do a 12-hour stream on my birthday. At least attempt to. I'm getting more than the 3-4 hours. The second gift is my gift to my presence. What do you mean I need a session with this guy for my ego? You know, just it's a cognitive distortion. That's all, Sonny. I'm trying to remember. I'm remembering correctly.
I think I've got what I need now.
Dr. Drain's like a name I would come up with.
Very
Perfect.
good, Samuel. I will leave you to it. Have confidence. It is well earned.
I guess I just gotta believe you. All right, Andy, I'll do my best.
I know you will. I will see you after your session.
I love the
I
designs
think
of all
I'm
these
ready.
guys.
And here comes the man himself.
To the lurk, Sonny. Oh, God, bat noises. Ugh.
Dr. Drain, good to see you again.
Yes, well, I wish I could say the same.
I have not had the most productive month.
Well, I'm gonna take my medications, and you just enjoy the slurping sounds of me drinking some water. But tell me about your month.
Back on this productive wagon, huh? Last time we were talking about all them should statements. Yes, exactly. And what a waste of time that was. I took what we spoke about to heart, you know, like a fool. But the should statements, as you so tritely put them, were the only thing holding me together. You ignored the addiction problem I came to you with. Nay, worse, you told me it was fine. And oh, how eager I was to test that theory. I have partaken of my awful plasma almost every night. I am more monster than man now.
Oh boy, sucker. Right, I probably should have read those. Ah! I sense a distortion. Wait.
Sounds to me like we could be having a fruitful conversation about moderation. I have a better idea. Seeing as you do not understand the gravity of the situation, I will make you understand.
I love that there's still club music bouncing in the background.
This is the plasma I've spoken of. Pure vampiric essence. I will show you how should statements are the remnants of our humanity. We should not be so quick to cast them away.
Okay, I see you.
Dr. Drain is assigning himself quite an imperative. But whence came this imperative, Samuel?
This is the plasma I've spoken of.
Shoot.
Pure vampiric essence. I will show you how should statements are the remnants of our humanity. We should not be so quick to cast them away.
I thought it was the Nosferatu, because... Okay. Oh, that's literally a should
I agree
statement.
with
God
you that
bless
should
it.
statements are human, but that don't make them universal. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's lots of ways to live, Doc. That is exactly the problem, Sam. We don't live. And this is the result most dire. Witness the wages of our sin. Now hold on a sec, Doc. I think we better... The time for caution is over. Goodbye, Sam. What in hell?
What? Hi?
Does it feel good to be alive? And who are you, darling?
I think that's the question I'm supposed to have.
I'm Sam. I'm your therapist, Doc. You know that.
Oh, we have a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation.
My therapist. Oh, how wonderful. How absolutely pathetic.
Ah.
A vampire therapist. Oh, what a sad, pathetic waste you are, Dr. Drain.
When he said goodbye, I thought he was just gonna leave the session.
Allow me to introduce
I guess he did.
myself, then. I am Lord Lyritus. And
Lyritus.
unlike that sad sack of quivering shit you've been talking to, I am a vampire. I kill, I drink, I fuck, and
Ooh.
I'm dead sexy.
I mean, he's got us there. I'm gonna come under his clothes because he said that he's dead sexy, so.
I never noticed your sweater was that tight. Yes, I like the way it rubs against my nipples.
Oh, God.
Not sure I needed that information.
I did not.
Oh, of course. Americans
Lord
fear nipples,
Lyritus.
don't they? Ooh.
No, I don't fear a nipple. I'm just saying I don't need to know that you like it because it rubs on your nipples, okay? I think the intent was already there.
Yes, I see it in your eyes. You're afraid, aren't you,
No.
American?
I mean-
Your Puritan blood chills at the sight of me. Maybe I'll warm it up before I drain it from you and turn you into a husk with a stupid hat.
Hey, leave the hat out of this.
I wouldn't try it. I'm not you, though, am I? And I am always hungry. I suggest you stay right where you are. A vampire with a gun? Oh, how our kind have fallen. What are you going to do, cowboy? Kill me?
I at least wound you.
Nope, but I can make sure the next few months ain't fun for you. Oh, how very kind of you to care about me, darling. It'll be our dear Dr. Drain who suffers. But I need the little worm for now, so I suppose I'll let you live. Mighty kind of you. Now you just settle on down and we're gonna have a chat. Ugh. Talking. We are animals. We are not meant for talking.
Even animals talk.
Very well.
They just don't do it in a way we can understand a lot of the times. Animals talk, though.
At least give me something to drink. I can rely on your piteous human blood to do me that kindness, yes? All right, but I'm watching you, hombre. Look all you like. The show is free. This is better than the swill I usually prefer. I'm more of a quantity over quality sort of creature. Yeah, I know your kind. I used to be a lot like you. And I suppose now you are just as repressed as the sad creature that exerts control over this luscious body of mine.
No, not particularly.
I'm more free than I've ever been, but don't you worry about me. Let's talk about you. You're going to psychoanalyze me.
I mean, it's kind of my job.
I live according to my nature. You might as well interview a lion. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm sure you are the way you are for a reason. You're not wrong about that. You know the answer already. Dr. Drain needs me. I am what is missing in his unlife.
Could be disqualifying, but could be control fallacy.
I am his hidden strength. I am his true essence. He is nothing without me, which he already realizes.
It's either control fallacy or disqualifying the positive. But Oop. Thinking it's... Oh, damn it.
Lord Lourdes seems to believe Dr. Drain is a completely insignificant part of his existence.
No, it's...
You're forgetting
There we
something. A lot of who you are is because
Damn
of
it,
Dr.
I was right the
Drain.
first time.
You know that fella denies himself a lot, and you do all them things he refrains from. Besides, didn't he make that plasma you sprung from? Do you know? You're absolutely correct. Very well. I'll give the little twerp his credit. He did bring me into existence, and what a wonderful existence it is. Were you aware that vampires possess absolutely no gag reflex? I can prove it.
Huh. I wonder.
I don't mess with my clients, but I'm not your client. That
I mean,
little rat
if we're
man in
talking,
tweed
you are.
is. Of course, he would deny himself the pleasure. You hear him talk about what he should do, but the sad creature cannot do those things. He should give in to me, and thanks to you, he has begun to.
No.
Lord Lourdes condemns Dr. Drain's cognitive distortions while committing them himself. Listen carefully, Samuel.
You hear him talk about what he should do, but the sad creature cannot do those things.
Nope.
Lord Lourdes condemned...
You hear him talk about what he should do, but
Nope, it's
Lord
disqualified a
Lourdes
positive.
condemns
Damn.
You
I
hear
keep...
him talk.
No, it's a should?
Lourdes condemns Dr. Drain's cognitive...
You hear? Come on now,
I'm
you really
bad at
countering his
this.
shoulds with your shoulds? I think that proves there ain't no such thing as a should everyone agrees on. But my shoulds are so much more entertaining. His have only bred him hundreds of years of pathetic existence.
Sometimes it's real difficult, I know. And then I have Andy in my head being like, no, you don't know that. Boo boo. Shh. Shush, shush. Shush, 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 boo. Bobo. No puffing.
Well, that don't make a damn bit of difference. I bet there are vampires a hell of a lot more depraved than you who think you should be doing things differently. Really? Oh, you must introduce me. If there are holes I don't know about, I should very much like to know where they are. There. How old are you anyway? Dr. Drain's been summoning me for 14 years now.
Thank you, Buffy. You baby.
Things are starting to make a lot more sense. You certainly sound like a 14-year-old. The transformation has already begun. I will subsume him. You're awful confident about that. But I got bad news for you. You don't control Dr. Drain. He controls you.
Oh, boy.
Darling, the little doctor controls nothing at all, least of all himself.
Can we get a
Make
can
no
we get
mistake.
a roar in
He
chat?
shall be mine.
Or oobada boobada. We could do that, thank you.
Oh yeah, and how do you know that? I know the little wretch far better than you do. He hasn't changed in centuries.
How would you know? You're only 14.
Was he in therapy then? No, only in the modern age do we make do with such delusional exercises.
Ah, don't bore my chat. Go bore Boris chat, Mako.
So not everything he does is predictable. I don't think you got a good reason to be so confident. Are you trying to fill my head with doubts? Do you even
The
think
flossy
that such a
sheep
thing is
says,
possible?
"Bah."
Hey, Flossie. How you doing? How was your weekend? Sorry, I had to feed Apollo and take him outside to touch grass. I also had to feed the kitties. I had to make me some motivation bean water in a peanut butter sandwich. Nice. Ba-ram-you. Ba-ram-you. No, you're all fine, Wolfie. Thanks so much. No problemo. Sorry, I'm doing a Bannon. Da-boom. There we go. And then I gotta just roast that on my mod stuff. There we go.
There is no such thing as doubt for being such as we.
It was a weekend, not
We
too bad.
live or we die. That's all. And I will live. I notice a funny way you and Dr. Drain talk about each other, as though you're totally
Oh,
different
well,
people.
I got it already. Thank you, though,
You really
Mako.
think that's true?
You go on and wake up and get into your mod mode. Thank you. Let's see. I'm doing pretty well. And Wolfie, don't worry about it. Gotta do stuff. It's all good. Yeah. So, wah.
Have you spoken with our pathetic little doctor? You know, he doesn't drink real blood. That's why he's so weak. Hold on, how's he even alive if he's not drinking blood? Oh, the little ball of shame didn't tell you. He's not even a vampire. He drinks that synthetic trash he produces instead of real blood. You can't just discount everything about Dr. Drain just because he doesn't drink fresh blood. The guy's managed to live for 430 years. He's got to be doing something right. Besides, let's say you get your wish and everyone just becomes vampire food. Where are you going to get blood when everyone's dead? Well, you raise a valid point.
Thank you.
Perhaps I'll start a mortal farm. Yes, that's it. They'll walk on all fours and be completely
I'm sorry, mods. I
naked at
took
all
that from you. I'm
times.
very sorry. Oh,
I'll milk them each day and raise stud mortals.
I'm pretty sure that is a lot of like some book talk books. I'm pretty certain.
Oh, this has possibilities. Why, thank you, darling. Brilliance can come from such unlikely places. Oh, dang, I wish I hadn't mentioned it. Why so shy, darling? You must have more experience than the dear doctor.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were a 400-year-old virgin. If it weren't for me, his cock would have shriveled up like a raisin.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about him saying cock like that.
I think I'm gonna surprise you, Lord, whatever you're calling yourself. But I think you're right. Dr. Drain does need you.
Hey, Giga, come on in. Get on the couch. How you doing?
But like it or not, you need him too. How very bloody dare you? What possible use could I have for a little turd like him? I am an animal. Pure and perfect. I don't care what anyone thinks of
Oh,
me.
yeah. I'm a Virginia. What about
Vampires ain't animals. Not even the worst of us. The moment we learned to talk and reason, living like beasts was out the window.
How you doing, Giga?
What a strange creature you are. You dress like a buffoon, but speak like a philosopher. The buffoon is the more admirable of the two. At least he's honest.
You know, Flossie, that quote. Nope.
You and Dr. Drain lie and lie and lie to justify your existence. It's ridiculous to suggest that I need him. What could I possibly need him for? When I tire, I sleep. When I lust, I fuck. When I thirst, I kill. As it should be.
No, not that.
Lord Luridus exhibits similar cognitive distortions to Dr. Drain. He is quite
There it is again, that simple thinking and them shoulds that are only yours. Come the hell on. You think we vampires should just go on autopilot? Fuck, sleep, kill, repeat?
See, I can say naughty words too.
Well, naturally, we should ensure that those things are fun. Otherwise, what's the point in doing them? That's it right there. I agree with you entirely.
For intents and purposes, I'm doing okay. Well, that's good to hear that you're doing okay. I hope that beyond intent and purpose, that you are doing well.
About time. I'll remove my clothing then. Or perhaps I'll remove yours. Not so fast. You're missing the point. If we're doing these things because they're fun, well, everybody's got their own idea of fun. That's our human experience at work. Like me, for instance. I'm more of a high intimacy kind of lover.
Ooh. You know, my therapist never told me what kind of lover she is. If I go beyond that, I'd be lying. Okay, well, sometimes you gotta take it slow, you know, and understand. Like, hoping for the best and, you know, planning for worst.
Oh, boff. You managed to make even delightful things seem so heinous. I'm only speaking the truth. What makes you so damn sure you know what being a vampire is anyway? Why do you think you've got it all figured out?
You're only 14. Oh, speaking of just random things that happen, Stitchy sometimes gets me like moisturizing lip stuff or chapstick or even lip gloss or lipsticks from her work when she sees them. Well, she found one that the company put a little mirror on the side of it so you could, you know, check it out. And I was peeling the plastic off it and it said LED light. I'm like, what? And on the very top of it, there's a little button you can press. Hear it? Yeah. And it lights up. The wand has a light inside it. It's an LED light. It's crazy.
Lie to yourself all you like, darling. We're all alike. I know what you crave. There's loads of us vampires out there, all with different experiences. You really think we're all the same? We are animals, darling. Like all depraved animals, we exist to ensure we continue to exist. If we do not, we embrace oblivion. Well, that's a heck of a jump.
It is.
We ain't powerless against our baser instincts, far from it.
Have you heard of the solar-powered flashlight? Like it's a flashlight that's just like, it's got like an energy thing on it? What's up with that, Mako?
We can be better people. We can live in harmony with others. It is utterly pointless to fight our natures. Oh, that poor mortal had a family. Who gives a damn? I'm thirsty. That poor mortal must consume in order to live, and so must I. He simply pretends not to enjoy it. I don't need to do any such thing.
Oh, it's a gag joke.
I love to kill. I love the taste of blood. Why would I love it if it weren't the only way to live? Point is, you're gonna get real fucking bored if you don't find a reason to do what you're doing. Do you think I need a purpose? That's a mortal concern. I don't need a fucking legacy. I need blood. The only thing I should do is what I was made to do. You're just as bad as Dr. Drain with all them should statements. He keeps talking about what he shouldn't do, and you keep talking about what you should do.
Crazy inventor that had invented useless things. One of those things was a solar-powered flashlight. Yeah.
You both act so damn sure of yourselves. You're so damn sure blood is all you need. Oh, did I forget to mention all the fucking?
You know, you don't not mention the fucking.
No, but hombre, you live forever. Food and sex is enough for animals. They got short lives. They get threatened and they die real quick. I know a lot of vampires who live like animals, and every single one of them is lost. Like him or not, Dr. Drain is your reason for living. Hell, if he didn't make this plasma stuff, you'd still be buried deep somewhere in his head. Fuck you. Dr. Drain is a pathetic little liar, and I will destroy him. That's what he wants. Then I'll come for you. If you're gonna kill me, you'd better be a quicker draw than I am. You wanna try your luck, compadre? No need. I do thirst, though, and I smell something downstairs. I smell mortals and virgins. Oh, how delicious.
Quick, chat! He smelled you! Get out of here!
Cowboy. You can drink what's in that bottle till Dr. Drain comes back. I ain't letting the likes of you near them people. At least you're aware enough to know that I am a ravenous beast.
I don't care, you can smell.
And beast that I am, I must kill.
Oh, no, that's stinky virgin. I ain't scared. Listen, horny bitches. Listen.
You will do no such thing to my mortals. Restrain yourself.
Oh, now who is this beautiful morsel?
I mean, Lourdes is right. He is a beautiful mortal.
I am far older than any blood you have ever tasted, whelp. Do not dare to think you can overpower me.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Daddy.
Oh no. No. No, don't call him Daddy. Please don't call him Daddy.
I will keep this poor animal contained, Samuel. You did excellent work in handling him. Deserve some rest. I will meet with you later.
If you're sure.
Do not worry. I have no need to hurt.
Well, now I'm just disappointed.
Just don't call him Daddy before I leave.
All right, Andy. I'll talk to you later. And Lord Lurid, or whatever your name is.
Stop, Mako,
Think
no.
about what we talked about, huh? Dr. Drain's got something you need. Oh, Vom, get out of here already. Not you two.
Survived Lord Lurid's session. Wait, could we not? Is there a way we could have not survived it? No, that's probably just the title thing. It's fine.
Tarnation. Barely walked out of that one alive. And I thought therapy was just talking.
No, there are definitely some times when your sessions can become dangerous. Oh, okay. He's addicted to the plasma that makes him black out. Okay. Right. Dr. Drain transformed to Lord Lourdes. I just don't like the word daddy being used for somebody. It's just weird. I know that's me yucking somebody else's yum, but it's just not for me. He's got some issue. Lourdes hates Dr. Drain and Drain hates him. Lourdes loves what Drain rejects, blood and sex. Lourdes believes that acting in our animal cells without apology. Where Drain is scientific, Lourdes is unscientific. Lourdes is extremely confident. I gotta talk to Dr. Drain about this, about where this Lord Lourdes comes from, and see if I can't get these two speaking the same language.
I could use a drink.
It's the context, yeah.
If it isn't the Lone Ranger.
Hey, Crimson.
You look a little down, cowboy. Have a shot.
I don't mind if I do.
Rough one tonight.
A little
You
bit.
could say that. My client went a little feral. Tried to attack me.
That ain't good. I hope you booted their ass out.
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't himself. The fella, he can't stand being a vampire, so the vampire comes out in nasty ways.
How about mommy in this context? I don't know. I just feel like I've had people call me mommy at times. Like when I'm playing video games or something like that, if I use my regular voice rather than my high pitcher one, high pitch, they call me a kid. If I use my lower pitch one, they call me mommy. And it feels weird when you have a 13-year-old being like, oh, mommy. And it's like, please don't do that. That's disgusting. Should we call you Daddy Squiddy? You know, listen, when I played Dream Daddy, that's all everybody called me was Daddy Squiddy.
Don't put yourself into too much danger, cowboy. Cleaning up a pile of ashes isn't my idea of a good night.
Too true, Crimson. By the way, today in 1870, Thomas Mundy Peterson of Perth Amboy, New Jersey, was the first African-American to vote in the U.S. under the provisions of the 15th Amendment to the Constitution in a local election on the town's charter. But you're not a daddy in the game. Wait. Yeah.
So what? He just went and turned into a monster?
14-year-old.
More or less. Went from a restrained fella to a hedonist beast.
How do you think you handled it?
I think I did pretty well, considering.
I think I did all right. I learned a whole bunch of cognitive distortions now, so I was still able to challenge the beast. Well, the way I figure it, he's still desperate for help, even if he doesn't act like it.
I did well, Mako.
I can see why Andy likes you. A heart's still beating in there.
I want to know how you do your makeup,
I'm
Crimson.
a creature of the night, too. I just want to help my kin.
People like talking to you, cowboy. They can't help sharing their lives with you. Whatever it is about you, folks are always going to prefer talking to you over killing you.
I surely do hope you're right.
I mean, it would have gone poorly if I had to shoot.
You know my big secret already. I wouldn't have told it to you if I didn't believe in you.
Sorry, I had to get a little water.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Crimson. I'm humbled.
Quit it with the aw shucks stuff. Now you're just trying to be cute.
And making success visit.
Hey, Reinhard.
Oh, hey, it's my little buddies. How's it going, kids?
Bad.
Oh no, Maxie, what?
Sorry to hear that, Maxie. What's going on?
Make some room, Kinder. I've got customers to serve. Go talk in the kink room.
Would you like to chat in the kink room, Maxie?
I would like that very much.
Okay, come on, Maxie.
So what's going on, Maxie?
My boss yelled at me today and made me sad.
Oh.
Well, what happened?
They're not vampires, though, just to let you know, Mako. They're just goths.
Someone injected a malicious SQL query into our API and used it to execute code. We did not have our queries parameterized, so they were able to drop the user table entirely.
Those were words. Maxi, as in M-A-X-I. That kind.
I warned the back-end developers that this would happen, but I got all of the blame.
That sounds like a real mess, Maxie. Reminds me of the time I forgot to lock the gate on a cattle drive. By morning, every last cow was gone, just like your, user table thing.
My user table thing.
Maybe your boss was hopping mad, but I bet next time they'll listen to you.
Am I the only one who is now aroused?
You might be.
No, Reinhardt, I am also aroused.
Tech stuff sounds like what my husband deals with. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta listen and be like, yeah.
Okay, get on over here and pass me some neck.
Light blue veins.
I
There we
feel
go.
as though all my worries have been sucked away.
I feel better after making the chicken. Yeah, I did. Okay. Mako and I were playing a game and I got kind of stressed out a little bit after, because I was going to be making dinner that night and I was a little worried because it's been a long time since I cooked chicken or cooked anything really. Mostly Stitchy and Boar do the cooking because they're really good at it. I was sassy, not mean. Sorry, I tried to envelop my child Raven. I'm so sorry. I apologize, Mako. So we got the cooking done. It went out pretty well, considering the fact that it was still frozen. I was not that mean. I was not, but I apologize. It seemed mean. I'm very sorry. But I did get to cook. It went well, even though the chicken was still frozen. I thought it was unfrozen, but when I started to try to cook it, it was still frozen, but it worked out well. I mean, I could have used a little bit more salt, but you know, it went pretty well. Pretty good. Well, Mako, you should go get that cleaned up.
I'm well acquainted with this feeling, Hazi.
And you will be once more.
I think that's my cue to get to my coffin.
Oh, I had pets, yes.
You scared the American away, Maxie.
I suppose I am a very bad girl.
All right, I'm out. Bedtime for Sam. I'll see you kids later.
To the coffin! Oh, I didn't even get to see the coffin.
Samuel, greetings.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, hey, Andy.
What is wrong, my friend? You don't seem your chipper American self.
Listen, I had to talk about back ends.
I guess I ain't too happy to be seeing tonight's client. I'm still feeling the tongue lashing she gave me last time.
Ooh, is it, I think it's Isabella. Talking about the tongue lashing. I'm thinking it's gonna be that. You do get to be sassy, you do. Sometimes Michael thinks I'm a rocket raccoon. He's probably right. I probably do have the personality sassiness. You get to be mean. When aren't you mean to me, Mako?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I was right.
She certainly has a way with words.
It ain't that. It's just this sense I get. Like she thinks I can be a certain way just because she tells me to.
Yeah.
Aha. At least that makes her core distortion clear, doesn't it? You know what it is, of course.
I don't think so. I think it's...
That lady's got control fallacies out the wazoo, and
Nah,
they've
you've
given her
always been nice,
centuries of
Becca.
stress.
I do not know this term, wazoo, but you are correct. The woman who chooses immortality so that she can ensure her family makes the correct decisions probably has some control issues.
And taking out her stress on me.
Do not take her criticisms too much to heart, my friend. You are simply a convenient target, an element within her control.
That still don't make it much fun.
I will not deny that Signora Deste is a confrontational client,
Too true.
but take her presence as a gift, however you can. A woman so powerful in her time has much to teach us. You have all the tools you need at your disposal to help her. Consider your approach.
She's definitely got emotional reasoning, probably overgeneralization. About to...
All right, I think I'm ready.
I will leave you to meditate then. Be well, Samuel.
Meditation.
And let this 3,000-year-old tell you, you are a fantastic therapist.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, gosh. You're gonna make me blush. Get on out of here, boss. I can handle this.
I know you can.
Now I think I'm ready. And here she comes. A deep breath.
Deep breath.
Howdy, Senora. Nice to see you again.
Liar. You are as pleased to see me as I am to see you, therapist.
I love your hat, Isabella. I love your just design.
We're gonna get straight into it, huh? All right, lay it on me. Why ain't you happy to see me?
Because you are a worm.
That's
Now, I've been
rude.
called a lot worse. You're gonna need to be more specific than that, Senora.
You are a worm because of the way you wriggled into my mind the last time we spoke, leaving behind loathsome doubts. The only reason I am here is to confront you for your beastly behavior.
Okay.
I come to you in crisis, and you suggest that I am the cause of my own woe.
I mean, yeah.
Aren't you supposed to help me?
Senora, you came in here telling me that Art is dead. How am I supposed to help you with that?
I don't know. But telling me that my existence has been a complete waste of time is not comforting.
Well,
I definitely don't remember saying that, Senora.
And I write down things.
What I said is that you ain't gonna change the world for anyone. But that doesn't mean your work wasn't worth anything.
See?
That's what I call...
Be sure. Yeah, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu thinking. Remember what we talked about? There's always gonna be people who want Space Wars, and there's always gonna be people who want Michelangelo.
Don't worry, Sam will fix this.
Michelangelo? Who is Michelangelo?
The guy what painted the Sistine Chapel.
Oh.
Michelangelo.
Oh God, we're mispronouncing it.
Michelangelo did no such thing. Perhaps you are thinking of a man from New Jersey, or a turtle.
Maybe a turtle.
It is Michelangelo.
Senora, you want to talk about wasting time? What's using me as a punching bag doing for you?
Very well. I will speak plainly. I am angry with you, Mr. Walls. Yes, perhaps not all I did was a waste of time, effort, and pain, but to think that much of it was. This is most horrifying.
Oh, not
Listen
that.
carefully, Samuel. It is not only truth.
Yes, perhaps not all I did was a waste of time, effort, and...
No.
Listen carefully, Samuel. It is not only truth that harms the Senora, but also the way she perceives
Oh, it's
truth.
over a generalization?
perhaps-
No, no,
Listen
dang it.
carefully.
Yes.
Maybe
There we
it'd
go.
help if we looked at that wording you used. A waste of time, effort, and pain.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't achieve your goals in them efforts, you can't just say they were a waste of time. Now, if you were sitting in bed for 400 years watching bad TV, then I might agree with you.
A disgusting notion. I am already dead. I do not need my mind to actively decompose by watching Batflix's latest trash.
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe let's reserve waste of time for trash, huh?
exactly.
I can see why it'd be upsetting to see something you put a lot of effort into not work out.
It is more than upsetting. It is devastating. I did not just fail to bring the understanding of true beauty into the world, I failed to bring it to my own familia. I watched them die, Mr. Walls. It was not the physical death that caused me the greatest pain, but the spiritual death. They had no care for the Gonzaga name nor the Deste name. Despite my sacrifice and all my efforts, they pieced away my legacy.
Oh boy, sounds like there's a lot to unpack here.
It is a dark and painful story, Mr. Walls. A story where my greatest joy turns to ash, and I was powerless to stop it.
Sounds like something good to talk about in therapy.
When last we met, did I tell you about my son,
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Federico? Ah, my dear Federico, my little clown, my delicate artist, my beautiful boy. I suffered for him, Mr. Walls. I put up with my husband, Frankie, and all his brutishness, all his licentiousness. All for Federico. I raised him to be intelligent and clever, to understand the gentle arts and philosophy.
Sounds like a good
I
boy.
raised him to be a Deste. But for all my efforts, I could not cool his Gonzaga blood, and it persisted for a century, to the ruin of our house.
I hate to break it to you, Senor, but every kid's got two parents, whether they know them or not. And kids have got minds of their own.
They do.
I refuse to believe that we are trapped by our blood. What was my destiny as a girl? Men of my time said it was to be servile and docile, a political pawn. What saved me from that fate? Knowledge.
It's true.
Study. An appreciation of art, music, history, and literature. In the same way, I should have been able to save my son.
I don't have the... It's a should statement. Okay, so shoulds for next time
But
for her.
my failure did not end with my darling Federico. I was only 153 when the once great Gonzaga house surrendered all its honor to the hated Spanish. I stood by, useless as a statue, as the Gonzaga name burned in the war of the Mantuan succession.
What's this war
Yeah, I
of
don't
the
know what that...
Mantuan
I
succession
can't think of
all
that off the
about?
top of my head.
Do you know nothing of history at all?
I do. I just don't know
Oh, very well.
everything.
It all began because my fool of a great-great-grandson, Vincenzo II, did not listen to me. Instead of dutifully procreating with his wife, he decided to impregnate mistresses. When he ate himself into the grave, the line of succession was broken, and the French and Spanish swarmed upon my home like
Because there was no legitimate heir.
cockroaches. I killed a great many of them myself, but it was not enough. Eventually, the Gonzaga lands were given away to both countries. Of course, this is common knowledge. I would have had your tutors beaten.
Senora, the only tutors I ever had showed up after eating a can of baked beans.
We're so sassy.
Disgusting.
But listen, woman.
So wait, there's a whole ass war going on and you're supposed to stop it? How's that work?
I gave up my humanity to guide my familia through the ages. If I could not do that, what was the point of becoming undead?
Senor, being a vampire gives us a lot of powers, but it doesn't give us the power to control a single human
least as
being.
far as I know.
Let alone a whole dynasty of them. When the heck have we ever listened to our betters?
True.
I ain't no historian, but I know enough to know people are liable to making the same mistakes over and over again. Humans have got that whole pesky free will thing that makes them do dumb things.
It's true.
Perhaps you are correct. Stupidity is inevitable. I understand what you are trying to do, Mr. Walls.
I am trying to, as in most therapy, help you take this jumbled mass of emotions and feelings and, thoughts on yourself and your past and slowly turn this bundled mass into a well-rounded ball. Like there are no tugs, no strands that are missing to pull it in together for you.
What am I trying to do, Senora?
You are trying to tell me that I've been living a lie for more than 400 years.
Not what I said.
I ain't doing anything like that, Senora.
Do not fret, peasant. We are in agreement. I have been living a lie. We all have. As I told you
Thank you,
last time,
Flossie.
I know my own foolishness. But time has not made my mortal concerns fade. In my mind, I know that virtue, love, chastity, wisdom, honor, these kinds of words were created by men to make us supplicant. But, fool that I am, I still love the idea of virtue. I have loved it ever since I was a child.
Oh, I don't have the one for this. Might be labeling or personalization. Yeah, I don't have it as an option.
I used to love all the tales of Roman mythology. I saw myself.
You
in
thought
all the
labeling? I was
goddesses.
thinking labeling too.
I saw my strength and chastity in Diana. In Minerva, my wisdom.
Ooh, walk off with so many of your
in
toys,
Venus,
Wolfie.
I saw my timeless beauty and romantic nature.
Romantic nature.
Romantic nature? What a wretched parrot I hear. Do not look at me so. Yes, I was a romantic. Until reality came crashing down upon me. Look at this painting I had commissioned.
Oh
What am I
my.
looking at? I don't know much about art.
Really pretty though. I really like it. Beautiful, beautiful art.
The figures standing upon the arch are Venus and Mars. Mars is portrayed by my idiot husband, Frankie. Beside him, I stand as Venus.
Oh, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking.
Not at the titties.
You may appreciate my beauty, peasant, but do not let your eyes linger upon my once supple body over long. This is art, not pornography.
True.
But look closer and you will see that even this art is a lie. This is the dream of a foolish girl, to be enjoined in pure romantic love with a handsome warrior. I believed so hard, Mr. Walls, that I thought I could make it true.
That's what everyone kind of hopes for.
But this handsome man is not Frankie. This is Frankie. He is not Mars, but Vulcan.
Well, he's got some abs. I'll give him that.
Yes, I did not shy from truth. But see how love's aim goes amiss and strikes his gangrenous penis rather than his heart. See the grapes behind him, for the drunkard is never far from his true love. See how he flails helplessly, as if begging a true warrior to put a sword in his belly.
I'm sensing we've got some work to do around your
Oh,
husband.
we do.
Whatever gave you that impression? The man was created solely to crush my view of the world and my place in it. Naturally, I might have. I now believe that Frankie was the truest man I ever met. That is what broke my heart. I maintained the illusion that he was my Mars because that is what I needed. I was not ready to face the truth. Oh, but I knew. Even as a 15-year-old girl, I knew. But I could not accept that I was married to the legendary penetrator of Mantua.
I'm sorry? Remember, cases was mentioned this game. It does deal with heavy subjects and sometimes situations. Too true, Wolfie.
Is it any wonder that I prefer the lie of virtue? Is it any wonder that I still prefer to believe it?
Understand it.
Problem is men. You are all weak animals who would give up your dignity for an evening in the company of Lucrezia Borgia.
Okay, Lucrezia Borgia is friggin' amazing. We can talk about that, you know, I'm just saying. But,
Hold your horses there, Senora. I don't even know who the heck Lucretia Borgia is.
I just heard a horse.
She is the inventor of twerking.
She is
All
not.
men flock to her, as I'm sure you would. They say she was blonde, but she looked like a redhead to me.
She blonded
You
her
know
hair.
what they say about redheads. Kissed by Lucifer.
She did have red hair. She did often bleach her hair by putting lye in her hair and then laying out in the sun.
Dang, Senora. Your overgeneralizations are building up and making you see whole groups of folks as awful. Now, I know you got your reasons for feeling the way that you do, real personal ones, but recognize where your experience is making you narrow your thinking. I mean, Senora, I'll be straight with you, as you're a tough lady.
I pinned it for you. There you go, Wolfie.
Here's where I think it's coming from.
You're being a real grouch.
You're comparing people to gods, including yourself, and everyone's failing that test. Frankie weren't never going to be Mars. You weren't never going to be Venus. You weren't born out of no shell.
And you will never be anything but a peasant.
Well, I'm the one sitting here talking with you.
Heck, Senora, I'll be as surprised as anyone if I get invited to a high society dinner. I can tell I'm hitting a sore spot, but maybe that means that's what we've got to focus on.
I do not like you, Sam Walls.
I know.
But you are correct. I betray my own purity of spirit with my anger. But I say, why should we not aim to be like the gods? Humanity is not worth preserving when we are such petty creatures.
Humanity ain't worth preserving if we ain't like the gods. Come on, Senora, even the gods weren't perfect.
Think of Zeus.
You're ignoring the good about being human and giving the gods a mighty big pass on their flaws, too.
I suppose Jupiter was a bit of a fixer-upper.
Fixer-up.
You should hear what he did as a swan.
Or golden rain.
No, I think I'd rather not. Senora, humanity is all we got. Even if we're immortal, every word we're speaking is a result of our humanity. Yeah, we make a lot of mistakes, and some of us sound like peasants, but all that messiness is worth something. It makes us who we are. Senora, I don't think you're a goddess. I think you're way more interesting and impressive, because
It's
you're
true.
real.
Well,
You have great wisdom for a peasant, Sam.
thank you.
And your kerchief is a fetching shade of red that matches your eyes.
Oh, well, thank you. We also have an ad coming in a minute.
Well, thanks, Senora. Let's focus on you, though. What happens if you're not that perfect goddess?
I suppose I have always felt that if I could not live to my ideals, I would be left with nothing. I would be discarded like Frankie's mistresses and die of some sex disease.
Senora, I don't think there's any universe where you're discarded. A woman of your strength and intelligence ain't ever gonna be forgotten. Maybe things didn't turn out the way you hoped, but you made do with what you had pretty damn well. No matter
true.
what, you're holding a pretty nice set of cards. Just because you don't have a straight flush doesn't mean your life was worth nothing.
Please, Mr. Walls, do not say toilet words in front of a lady. But I understand your meaning.
Thank you.
You are correct, I think. It is hard to imagine my falling so far. Oh, Mr. Walls, I know you speak the truth. I wielded great strength in an age where women were not respected.
It's true. It's true.
But I alone feel the weight of my family's collapse, so I feel responsible for it.
Oh,
Does
not.
Senora Deste's feeling of responsibility for her family, does Senora Deste's feeling of responsibility for her family make them her responsibility, Samuel?
But I alone feel the weight of my family.
Damn it. Nope.
Does Senora Deste's feeling of
But I
know it's a lot to bear,
I was so
Senora,
close.
but that weight you're carrying doesn't mean you're the one destined to carry the weight. You get what I'm saying?
This sounds like some of that excellent peasant wisdom of yours. Please explain.
What I'm saying is that feeling you've got doesn't create truth. You feel that you have ultimate responsibility for your family, but that feeling doesn't make it so.
You can only control yourself.
Yes, I see. No one gave me this responsibility other than myself.
True.
That's exactly it, Senora.
But I was the only person capable of preserving my family, Sam. That is what makes my failure so poignant.
Senora, what if you weren't the only person capable of preserving your family?
Every single person
What if
had
no
that.
one person was?
I don't know. I never considered such a thing.
Well, try to consider it now. What if you accepted that whatever was going to happen to your family was going to happen?
You sound like a Calvinist.
Maybe.
Never mind with the labeling for now. How would you feel if you knew nobody can control what happened to the Gonzaga house?
I think I would feel relieved.
Yeah, like you didn't have to put this responsibility on yourself. You didn't have to hyper focus on everyone and what they should and shouldn't do.
Senora, whatever happened to your family, fault never belonged to you. You were the one who named yourself responsible. No one else did. Look at who you are. And I think you can be damned impressed at who that lady is.
Oh, we need tissues.
Damn you.
Too late, Senora. Look, let's wrap up tonight, huh? I think you did great. You probably got some stuff to think about.
Yes. Thank you, Sam. I will see you in a month.
Of course, Senora. I'm looking forward to it.
Goodbye, Sam.
Would you like some tissues? No? Okay.
Samuel, it appears you have an admirer.
Oh my.
Oh, shucks.
I think Isabella d'Este has liked fewer than 5 people in her hundreds of years of existence.
Ooh.
And you are one of them.
I'm excited.
Remember, though, that romantic entanglements between a therapist and client are absolutely forbidden.
It's true.
In case you are tempted.
Can't even be friends with your therapist. Like, you have to spend years not being their therapist before you can, like, friend them on Facebook kind of stuff.
Come on now, Andy. I ain't gonna do anything like that.
He's just mentioning it.
Of course, should the mind wander into fantasy, that is entirely acceptable.
Oh, you're just messing with me now.
I could not help it. It's rather cute.
Yeah.
The First Lady of the Renaissance and humble cowboy Samuel Walls. Quite a picture, isn't it?
Okay, that's it. I'm getting a drink.
I'm sorry, Samuel. Please, drink. Ask Crimson for the Royal Virgin. It's my very best. I think you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever. You have a good night, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
It's cute. I could see it. I could see her coming very attached to somebody who would show her romantic-y affection.
Problems.
Let's see. Oh, right, Isabella. We really got into the Senora's family issues today, and there's a lot of them. She's hopping mad they didn't meet her standards. Isabella died so she could control her family. Didn't work. Husband and son were both major disappointments to her, especially her son. Really hates the Spanish. Might be a little obsessed with her late husband's failing as a man. Senora is still holding a lot of anger, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, though. Next time we'll see if I can't push it a little more.
I'll need me a Crimson special after that one. Howdy, Crimson. Think you can fashion me up one of them blood cocktails?
I reckon so. Got a lot on your mind tonight, cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about family stuff. I got this client who's got some real tough family issues to go through, and it got me thinking about my own. Or my lack of family, at least.
You got any family left?
I've got a great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter kicking around, apparently, but she's got no connection to this old cowboy. Not sure what she'd say if a man dressed like a cowboy introduced himself as her vampire relative from the 1800s.
That's fair. I would not know what to do with that.
I see your point. Sounds like you don't have many family problems then.
I reckon so. Family means a lot to my client, though. I hope my perspective's still useful.
How do you think she's handling her therapy so far?
I don't think poorly. I think she's working really well. She's willing to... The reason that she was so upset with us is that she was focused on what we were saying, so I think she's doing pretty good.
I think she's doing pretty well, honestly. She spent a long time judging herself by her family's achievements, but I think she's starting to recognize the fruitlessness in that.
And that's a big
Seems
step.
like you don't need her family to be able to give her some hope.
I suppose not. Rich family problems were never going to be my specialty anyway. You got family back home, Crimson?
Yeah, I've got some family. We don't talk too much. I went a little wild after I got my diagnosis. They're not too fond of my lifestyle choices, but hey, at least I'm alive.
True.
And I get to hear them gossiping about how I don't age.
Well, you chose a good age to stop getting older. I often wish I weren't such a dusty old corpse, but death comes when it comes.
True.
Sometimes he's still waiting for me to give him an opening.
Death always is. Pardon me for asking, but is there a reason you're choosing not to be a vampire?
There is, but I'm not talking about it tonight. A little mystery makes life a bit spicier, don't you think, cowboy?
I do.
Oh, I wasn't trying to pry or nothing.
Bullshit. I know you're curious. Here, consolation prize.
But what is it?
Black Widow.
Ooh.
Black stuff's just food coloring. Figured you were in the mood for a scary lady tonight.
I always am.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. Think I'll take this to my coffin for a quiet night.
You do that, honey. And don't spill in Andy's coffin. He'll act like he's not mad, but you know he's mad.
Oh, yeah.
Why should I be upset? What has happened has happened.
Not bad, cowboy. Get the hell out of here.
Thank you, Crimson.
Okay, I'm going. See you later, Crimson. There we are. Gotta get me one of these fancy coffins for back home.
Yeah, roomy.
Now, let's see. What am I in the mood for? I think I'm either gonna find a passage from Little Women that suits me, or I'm gonna watch Shemp get smacked in the head with a hot iron, or I'm going to bed.
Oh, we're going from Little Women.
I can always turn to the Alcuts in my times of doubt. Somehow they got above it all and started exploring humanity. Now, where was that line? All right, here in Chapter 8. I am angry nearly every day of my life, Joe, but I have learned not to show it, and I still hope to learn not to feel it, though it may take me another 40 years to do so. Yeah, that sounds like the Senora. Hope she doesn't have to wait too much longer, and that I'm not making it worse. Well, that's enough fun for one day. Good night, son. See you in hell.
Oh, I thought I clicked it.
Samuel, greetings. I believe you are seeing our actor friend tonight, are you not?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I still ain't sure I'm the right therapist for that fella.
Any therapist is
There
good
may
for
not
him.
be a right therapist for him, but let us think positively. He has put himself in your care, and that is a tremendous step.
It is.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm thinking it's gonna be an uphill battle, though.
At least his core distortion is clear, don't you think? You know what it is, I am sure.
Let's see. Related personal entrepreneurs, paid by performance. Ready to get back into acting. Okay. Got emotional
It's
reasoning?
gotta be emotional reasoning. I ain't never seen someone so dramatic.
Certainly Edmund's thinking is derived from his intense emotions. But what spurs his emotions?
It's personalization.
It's personal.
Of course, a distortion common to many with narcissistic tendencies.
Yep, it's the Edmund Keane show all day, every day.
I recognize your disdain, but pause a moment. It must be difficult for Edmund to make everything all about him all the time, don't you think?
He doesn't have to make everything about him, though.
Don't have to, but it is.
He doesn't know that. Keep digging, Samuel. You will find his truth. Choose your distortions well.
Going to think emotional reasoning, overgeneralization, should statements, just because shoulds do pop up a bit, and I'm going to try labeling.
I think I'm all holstered up now.
Very good, Samuel. I wish you patience and compassion. Good luck.
See you later, Andy. All right, now what did Andy teach me? Breathe. I think I'm ready. Right on time. I think I hear him coming. Hey, Edmund, good to see you. How you been feeling these past few weeks?
Empty, my dear boy. Empty. I am but a vessel made for a single purpose. But alas, and alack, that purpose is in supply most rare.
You mean acting, right?
Aye, that's the rub. Acting, my dear boy. Acting. My thespian blood goes rancid with stagnation, and the only cure seems to me irreprehensible now. I do not wish to face these mortal directors, for they dare to tell me my art.
Ain't that what directors are supposed to do?
Oh, my dear boy. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them. No director can thrust greatness upon the already great.
Damn it.
In mine own case, mine greatness hath already been achieved.
Well, maybe you can help me understand a little better. You said that greatness was thrust upon you, right? How did that happen?
Ah, you are curious to hear what circumstances created this actor non pare. I cannot blame you. Well, recounting such a history will please me indeed. I first rattled the foundations of the stage as a mere babe.
Oh.
Indeed, too young for memory, and yet old enough to command attention. Clad only in swaddling cloth at the age of 4,
Oh.
I was Cupid himself.
That's cute.
But my arrows seemingly went astray, for the entirety of the audience fell in love with me.
Oh.
It is the stuff of legend. For tender as my mind was, I could not bear witness to my own greatness. But it does prove that I was indeed born great.
But you said greatness was thrust upon you.
Yeah.
It was a matter of necessity. You may not guess it from my gentle speech, but I am no lordling.
Who woke up?
Selfishly, and surely to spite me, my father shuffled off his mortal coil when I was but a babe in arms, ere I ever graced the stage. It left my mother and myself in dire straits.
Nope, that's not
It
the
is an
damn.
impressive selfish. It is an impressive distortion to believe that someone has died to inconvenience you. I am actually impressed.
Selfishly, and surely to spite me, my father...
Hold on a sec. You said your old man died selfishly.
That's what I meant
What
to
do you
click.
mean?
Internally.
Well, what kind of a father drinks himself to death when he has a beautiful baby son at home? I at least waited until my son was older before I did the same.
Eddie, come on. Listen to yourself. I'm sure you didn't die to spite your son, just as your pa didn't die to spite you. I ain't gonna deny his choices hurt you, but they weren't all about you.
Yeah, it wasn't all
Forgive
focused.
me then. 'Tis ever the fate of an actor to feel every emotion more keenly. The situation my mother and I were left in was most precarious.
Most precarious.
We were the lowest of the low, you see. We lived in the rookeries and begged for our bread. But he that hath wit must make content with his fortune's fit. And oh, did we beg. She was my Queen Gertrude, and I her filthy little Hamlet. Did I mention I played Hamlet at age 14?
You did not.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Well, anyway, my mother was a competent actress. But it
dang
was
it, I
my
missed one.
wit alone that saved us from destitution.
Might have been a. Maybe labeling or disqualifying the positive.
Forsooth, I was so prodigious that, at the age of 7, I garnered the attention of one Reginald Flopbot of the Worthington Flopbots. 'Twas he who paid to get me off the streets and into the dormitories. He said, "Edmund, my cherub, the streets are not for you.
Not a
One
child of
day
the streets,
you
thank
will
you.
be the greatest of actors."
Hey, how about that? You went and proved him right.
Piffle. Master Flopbot never gave a fig about my potential. I was a prop to him, a symbol of his generosity and high breeding. Every month, he would stage an elaborate party with all the well-to-do society of London. The dandy Fop would stand upon a dais and announce himself as the savior of the city's poor.
I know, the names are great.
That was my cue. I would be lowered down from the rooftop, wearing naught but swaddling clothes and a set of opulent wings. The gentry's delight was my dungeon, but I would flit among them, reprising my breakout role as Cupid by shooting little arrows of love at them.
Like actual arrows?
At the age of 7, it was most disquieting.
I'd say so. That's when you start remembering shit, I
At
believe.
11, on the cusp of manhood, the shame was too much to bear.
Dang, Eddie, that sounds awful. That Flopbot fella had no right to do that to you.
No, indeed. I remember my last performance quite vividly. The titters and leering glances from the guests linger ever in the back of my mind. And fool that I was, I played my part still. I should have plunged mine arrows into that fool Flopbot's chest instead of shaming myself.
Hold on a sec there. You saying you should have stood up for yourself. Where the heck does that come from? You were 11 years old.
Yeah.
How the heck were you supposed to know any better?
Why does this remind me so much of that TV series, What We Do in the Shadows? I've never seen it. I've seen clips of it online, but I've never actually seen it. I've heard it's pretty good, though.
I knew enough to know that being paraded around in swaddling clothes was a farce, and yet I played along. So yes, I should have done something about it.
But what are you to do? This man probably paid for your education and all of that. Did all this other stuff. Like, what were you gonna do about
What
it?
would have happened?
I don't know, but I would have been spared the indignity that I participated in.
But you would have been on the streets. Yeah, you were 11.
You didn't have those answers then, and ain't nobody would expect you to. That's kind of how exploitation works, Eddie.
Exactly. It was exploitation. He didn't care to take care of you like you should have probably taken care of. He just wanted to use you as a prop. He was using it to kind of like humiliate you, all of the fact that you couldn't do anything about it.
Indeed, the word exploit was not even in the standard lexicon at that point.
Yeah.
How could I have known?
Exactly.
Regardless,
No, regardless.
I swore that night to never be a puppet again. I stole away and gave myself to the mercy of Poseidon. The bargain was struck, and he swallowed up my hated swaddling clothes and wings. In desperation, I signed on with a mercantile shipping agency. I thought perhaps that my body would bend more than my soul.
Oh, I was like, why were you talking about Poseidon? But he's not usually an actor's kind of god, you know. But yeah, okay.
But oh, did I toil! Life upon the sea is most cruel.
Oh, it was.
Biting winds did carve my visage. Low words hardened my heart, and heavy weights left me bent. By the time I had fulfilled my bargain with the Lord of the Sea, I had become an older man, my efforts etched into every crease on my face.
Dang, sounds intense. How long were you at this job?
An age, a life, 6 months.
Just 6
Each
months?
one a hungry leech torn
Wait,
from
what?
my bleeding body. I am convinced this gauntlet was prepared for me alone. For ne'er in history has one so blessed by grace been subjected to such toil.
Nope, dang
I
it.
do not have to be 3,000 years old to know that many have suffered more
Yeah,
than
sorry.
Edmund.
I am
Overjudged.
convinced this.
Oh,
I
it's
do not
not?
have to be 3,000.
I am
Fine.
convinced this.
Dang
I do not
nabbit.
have to be 3,000.
Eddie, I gotta stop
Blah,
you
blah,
there.
blah, blah.
It's gonna be a lot easier to accept your truth when you realize you ain't alone in your suffering.
You were the only one who did that kind of job.
Hell, there ain't nothing more human than suffering. And historically, kids ain't had it so good.
They did not.
But none suffered as I suffered.
Ever heard of a
Is it
chimney
as
sweep?
I was not meant for such misery.
Seriously, ever heard of a chimney sweep? Household servants?
Compadre, I had my first kill and no home at 12 years old. My brother had a stutter his whole life on account of the regular beatings my stepdaddy gave him. Maybe your suffering felt like the only suffering in the world, but it wasn't. And it'll hurt less when you realize you weren't alone.
Exactly. You weren't alone in suffering. You aren't the only one to have suffered and be in pain.
But keep telling me your story. I already know there ain't nobody like you in the world, so don't worry on that account.
Yeah, you could just tell me your story.
Now then, at last, we close the circle, as nature ever demands. I return to London, and into the graces of my dear Uncle Moses and his comely mistress, Charlotte.
Ooh.
'Twas she who filled my dramaturgical quiver with dire arrows, fletched by the bard himself. And when my deft fingers plucked the bow of humanity, at last I was free.
Huh?
I cannot speak.
Yes, you can.
plainly.
You can speak, friendly.
The good woman taught me the works of Shakespeare, and armed with this knowledge, I conquered the stage and saved myself from toil.
Oh, well, right.
And so, you see, the die was cast from the moment I was born. The stage was made for me, and it was my skill upon it that saved me from the streets, and saved me once again from a life at sea.
Eddie, my man, I got some good news and bad news for you. The truth of the matter is, fate doesn't give a stable full of horseshit about you.
It's true.
Ain't none of us are that special. The world ain't waiting for us to show up. It's just gonna keep turning.
Perhaps you are right, my dear boy. You are correct. My success was not because of the fates, but in spite of them.
Yeah.
The fates said, Edmund, you are a child of the slums. But I shamed the immortal hags in my own manner. The stage roused my spirit. Thus I knew my destiny lay upon it.
Edmund is
Labeling?
conflating.
The stage
Dang it.
Edmund is conflating.
the stage.
You got
Ah,
it,
it was
amigo.
one of the three.
You wanted the stage to be your ticket out of the bad days. Maybe that's why you were so successful. Your intrinsic motivation made you keep pushing to be better.
'Tis so. 'Tis so. The threat of the rookeries loomed ever upon my overladen spirit. Acting presented itself as a way to keep myself out of them. It is natural that I should weigh its importance so heavily.
It's true. It was your means of working that wouldn't cause you to be in pain and suffering.
I can see why acting means so much to you, Eddie. I probably feel damn near the same about the things that got me out of my bad days.
Thank you. Then you understand how my alienation from the theater does pain me so. And yet, the cure is as deadly as the illness. These damnable critics! Not a single lifetime among them, and they deign to challenge my interpretation of the written word.
I mean, that's what critics do.
They simply cannot relate to my singular experience. I will bare my soul upon that stage, and they will all sneer and malign it on their internet profiles.
For someone that lives for adulation, Edmund has a dim view of his fans, don't you think?
They simply cannot.
Nope.
For someone that
They simply cannot relate to my.
Damn it, it's just
You're so
overgeneralization.
certain that them critics are all the same. But I think that ain't being honest with yourself. Not all critics are bad.
Yeah.
It takes work to be good at something. So of course the decent critics are gonna be rarer.
What you say rings true. Indeed, although past critics were flabbergasted at my portrayal of King Lear, not all were. And modern perspectives
See?
have affirmed that my interpretation was nothing short of brilliant.
Yeah, you get it. I took a look at your Wikipedia entry last night, Eddie. Maybe you've had a few bad critics here and there, but history says you're a legend, and your work speaks for itself. Hell, you were around before film was ever a thing, and people still remember you.
Ah, your words warm me, as an heir-sat son for the one we have forsaken. With thy help shall I gird my soul, mayhap, and grace the stage once more.
Well, let's talk about that then. What's the biggest thing stopping you from getting back up on that stage right now?
I mean, there's a lot of what is it? A lot of like return to Shakespearean work on the stage, you know? Like I get clips all the time on like Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff of people doing more like Shakespearean work. There's nothing stopping them.
That it all simply might not be worth it. Why should I bear my damned soul when the audience hath not the sight to see it?
Maybe I can ask you a question then. What if there were no audience?
No audience? Do you know what a stage is, sir? It is a platform where life in brief may be portrayed. It is a platform because it is separate from the audience. Without such, the stage ceases to be a stage.
As in, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Simply but elegantly put, my dear boy. Without the audience, the stage loses all meaning, like a monarch without a kingdom.
Let's figure out how we can bring it back to acting.
Got
Forget the
haunted
audience.
swords? What?
I know we can't see in
Oh,
mirrors
the dual
and all,
blade.
but what do you think of filming yourself?
Yeah. I mean, you won't be able to hear the reactions of the audience, but they'd see you.
Brilliant notion. Yes, I shall become my own audience. I shall bring myself to rapture.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Forsooth, if I cannot pleasure myself, whom can I pleasure?
We're still talking about acting, right?
We're still talking about acting, Sam.
Oh, my dear boy. The pleasures of the flesh are secondary to one who knows character above all else. Indeed, we speak of the noble art. I shall do as you suggest. If there is one on this lonely orb that can inspire an artist such as I, it is myself.
I ain't sure I'd put it exactly that way, but I think you're touching on the thing we've been talking about. The motivation's got to come from you, amigo.
Exactly.
We are of one mind, dear boy. Perhaps I left my muse in the mortal realm, but I shall find him once more. Not only for myself, but also for my public. Yea, the masses flock to my Wikipedia page as moths to a flame, each a silent plea for the return of the one true artisan of the stage.
Dagnabbit.
Edmund sees his individual qualities as spurring others into action. Does he?
Yea, the masses...
Ah, dang it.
Edmund sees his.
Now hold
There
your
goes.
horses there, fella. You're reading a little too much into the whole Wikipedia thing. There's
What
a
the
million
fuck
and
is
a
a
half reasons
horses?
why people might be looking you up.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, I hear tell the biggest Wikipedia page out there is the one for that coronavirus that got all them mortals all worked up. And I'm pretty sure they don't want that coming back.
True.
And thus dost thou scuttle a burgeoning friendship with the cannons of enmity.
It's
Why
my
must you
special
challenge me
ability?
so?
What?
That's my job, compadre. Ain't we had some good
Brrr.
breakthroughs today? We couldn't have gotten there if I'd been busy agreeing with everything you said.
Oh, very well. But I still say you are most vexatious.
I've been called worse. I think we got some homework for you, though, right?
Oh,
yourself
right.
and do
Calming
some
down
acting
people,
for
treating
its
them
own
like
sake.
horses. Gotcha.
We'll check back in a few weeks. But Eddie, I think you're doing great. We made a lot of progress today.
I'll probably totally forget that again.
Naturally, the human condition is my oeuvre. Nevertheless, you have been a competent guide. You have reminded me of what is most important in unlife. Me.
Sure.
I should like to give you a gift.
Oh, come on. You don't need to do nothing like that.
Nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
It is meaningless to me, but it is beyond price for you. It is my headshot, signed with my autograph.
Thank you, Edmund.
Thanks, Eddie.
Cherish it always. If you help me to find my muse, then it is a gift even more precious. And I will find it ere we next meet. Of that, I promise you.
Well, let's not put the pressure on, amigo. Just enjoy some acting. That's all I'm asking for. I'll see you in a few weeks then, okay?
Verily, so it shall be. Godspeed then, boy. Thou shalt witness me new and on. Farewell.
A job well done, Samuel. I was particularly impressed at the way you challenged Edmund on what acting means to him.
He's so into himself. Yeah, I think at some point it's kind of like it's a little bit of narcissism, but I think a lot of there has to be a little bit of a sense of narcissism in like public engaging kind of way. Like even people who do streaming and stuff, I'm calling myself out here, have a little bit of narcissism, you know, to be so into themselves that they think they can do it, you know? But yeah, he's way too much into himself. He's got to wheel that back a bit.
Yeah, he's a weird fella, but I think he's gonna do okay.
It can be hard for our kind to retain our intrinsic motivation. Something must keep him going. I do hope that he will find his. But you, Samuel, must rest. The work you have done in these past 2 months deserves to be celebrated. So do not linger here in this dusty room.
We'll get someone to dust it.
Perhaps you can even be encouraged to dance.
I think I'm gonna need a lot more therapy myself to get to that point.
Very well, Samuel. Then let us at least make sure you get well nourished. Find a friendly neck downstairs, my friend. You deserve it. And rest in peace.
Enjoy your lunch.
They say don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, but maybe don't let them be actors either.
Let's take a look at our notes. Session 2. Edmund's tied to the whole identity of stage because stage saved him from the streets when he was a kid. Obsessed with the audience. Disqualifies positive about any other actors. Definitely suffered abuse as a kid. Still thinking the same as he was when he was a kid. The stage is always going to offer salvation. I suggest Edmund try acting for its sake. He forgot the fun while he was looking for safety. Hope it goes well. Yeah.
Well, time to dish with Crimson a little. I gotta talk to some more folks, though. Andy's mainly my teacher, so I'm starting to feel like Crimson's my only friend. Hey, only friend.
Excuse me?
What? Oh, yeah, Crimson. Hey, Crimson.
Don't hit her with that.
Are you blushing, vampire?
A little bit.
No, that ain't possible.
It's all right. It's nice to hear from a vampire who's younger than Jesus. Now, let's hear how this week went before you go out there and find friend number 2.
All right, real quick. This client of mine, he had a real bad time as a kid. Well, worse than I did, it sounds like. But he found fame early, and now he's talking about fate and how he's destined for greatness again.
Met plenty of destined for greatness folk in D.C. I lost patience for it. How do you think you handled him?
He broke through, so I think
learned my
pretty well.
lessons from the last session. He didn't threaten to jump off a cliff this time or anything.
Yeah.
I gave him an assignment to film himself doing something he loves doing. He seemed excited about that.
You're either brave or adorable, Sam Walls.
Can't I be both?
There's nothing brave about it. As for adorable, well, some have used words to that effect before.
Okay, now I know you're confident enough to get out there. Giddy up.
I don't want to giddy
Here
up.
we go. Right to the edge of the dance floor, but not on it. Don't want anyone getting any funny ideas.
Yeah, let's just ignore all the breaches of client-patient confidentiality. I guess the only way that you could kind of like breach that is like there's no names or identifiers. Well, I guess kind of identifier by the whole thing about like being an actor, but like I don't know. Like, but yeah, if I know that like for HIPAA it's like non-identifiable kind of stuff, but yeah.
Once more alone, I see.
Oh hey.
You scared the shit out of me.
But you can't shit. You're a vampire.
Pantabella, how dare you?
Know that I see much, vampire, and that I like what I see.
Oh.
Oh, it's her again. Well, I was hoping to find a mortal friend, or at least a Will and Nick. Now, what do mortals at this time talk about?
Let's be awkward about the music.
They ever play the classics in here? A little Oh Susanna or Old Folks at Home?
No, they don't. All your favorite songs have been long forgotten now.
Oh.
Well, what songs do you like?
If I told you, would you know them?
No, but maybe I could look them up.
Probably not.
I see.
You see a lot, don't you?
Why don't you tell me what you see?
I see an interesting mortal. Someone observant. Someone who isn't afraid to have their own style.
That is what you observe. It is not what you see.
Well, fine, you tell me what I see.
You see the long vein across my throat. It looks very juicy, doesn't it?
Well, now that you mention it,
yep, I see it.
does.
Then consent is given.
Oh.
Do not hesitate, vampire.
Well, as long as consent is given. Bite the blue, bite the blue, bite the blue, and yep.
Shucks.
Shucks.
Something else. You got good circulation there.
Ah, some style and circulation. Gotta love it.
I see. And what do I taste like?
Kind of earthy. You could use some iron.
Yeah, get some
What do you
iron
eat
in you,
most
girl.
often?
I eat a lot of carrots. They're supposed to be good for one's eyesight, and I like to see. I see now that you are tired and wish to enter your state of torpor.
Well, maybe I'll see myself out then.
Come on, giggle a little at that smile. Come on, that was a great joke.
That's offensive. I'm going to leave now.
Damn it. I'm gonna.
Shoot, was it something I said? Well, at least I got a full belly. And now, time for some shut-eye.
Oh, God. That is offensive.
Good evening, Samuel. I believe you are seeing the Ancient One tonight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Ancient one. She's 1,200 years younger than you, Andy.
I suppose I was engaging in a bit of labeling myself. You are, of course, correct. Still, her age presents a unique challenge. After one lives for 1,000 years, history seems less a line than a fixed point. Speaking of which, I imagine you can guess what distortion an old one such as Medi might fixate upon.
Nosferatu?
It's Nosferatu thinking. Medi's seen so much history that mortals can only be one way or another for her.
You are not incorrect. She does indeed paint the world with a very old, broad brush, but her true distortion is more specific.
Generalization?
It's gotta be overgeneralization. She really is basing all her opinions on her experiences when she was alive.
Very good, Samuel. I heard tales of her island in my time, but they were never peaceful tales. I am not surprised she finds safety in her narrative. What other distortions do you think Medi might exhibit?
Well, we're definitely putting Nosferatu. Should statements. Positive. Labeling and personalization.
Good to go, boss.
Then I will leave you to it. Good luck, my friend.
Oof.
Hello again, strange cowboy man.
Hey, Medi.
It's good to see you again, Mitty. How's the past month been for you?
I went for a walk, just like you suggested. Didn't like it very much.
That's a shame.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. What was so unpleasant about it?
It's very loud outside, and dirty, and smelly. Everywhere I walked, it smelled like mortal food, which is disgusting. They knew how good it felt to drink blood. Maybe they would not eat so much of this pizza food. There's so many cars, too. I don't like cars. They have hateful faces. They look so angry all the time.
Yeah.
Stepped in a wee, killed 7 men, and got splashed by a bus. It's really quite awful.
7 men, Jesus.
You killed 7 men? How the heck did that happen?
Oh, that. It was inconvenient, you know.
Yeah, but how did it
Normally I have
happen?
my zealots do that kind of thing for me. They take care of the bodies.
That's fine, but seriously, how did you kill them?
I had to do all that silly work myself. And now there are always police sirens going off, which interrupts my streams and makes my followers very sad.
Why did that all happen?
Yeah.
Because they found the bodies
No.
everywhere, silly. I don't know what to do with my rubbish.
I meant, like, why did you kill them?
I meant, why the killing? You didn't happen to make a few assumptions based on past experiences? Why kill a bunch of men?
Oh, well, they looked at me. I know what mortals who look at me are like. If I let them live, they'd probably try to burn me as a witch. I could do nothing but kill them.
She knows what all mortals are like.
Oh,
Hold on a sec. You know what mortals who look at you are like. How do you know? Are you reading their minds?
I don't have to read their minds, sweetling. I have known manlings for a very long time.
I get what you're saying. But here in this room, at least, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Do you really know what they were thinking?
Silly mouseling. I do not need to know what a wolf is thinking to know what a wolf is.
I mean, I understand, but, like...
Does that mean every wolf you see is gonna try to eat you?
We don't have wolves anymore. They're all gone now.
No, we do.
So maybe you can see where that kind of thinking can be a problem. It was scared people who killed all them wolves, right? Now I know that thinking doesn't come from nowhere. Old as you are, I'm sure you've seen some real awful stuff.
That's right. Haven't killed you, though. You are kind, little mouse.
Well, let's lay off the mouse stuff a little.
I'm sorry. I don't wish for you to scurry away into a little hole.
Getting into that mousing again.
Let's hear why I feel the way I do.
Yes, I would like
I would
that.
appreciate it greatly, miss.
Let me tell you about men from my time, then. Let's start with me, Da. My father sold me and my mother to a chief of a rival clan for a golden necklace.
That is just horrifying.
It is.
Oh, don't fuss, sweetling. It was the most beautiful golden necklace. At least 2 girls' worth. My father got quite a deal, really.
You're using humor, but I'm sure that must have been heartbreaking for you.
It was common at the time. I suppose I should have been glad to be the possession of an old chief.
Whose should is that, matey?
Why, everyone thought that. They were ever so surprised when I ran away. Did wish I could feel the way they felt, but I simply could not.
Yeah, just because they thought that should doesn't mean it's right.
I think most of us vampires had it rough as kids. Maybe most kids have it rough. I don't know. But the one thing I do know is that kids don't come with the same shoulds their parents have got. I think we're learning all them shoulds ended up being a load of horse shit anyway.
I knew girls who did as they were told. They would have been thrilled to have been the concubine of a powerful chief. But, oh, he was so old. Cormac O'Neill, the oldest man I had ever seen. I remember thinking, where is his face?
Ugh.
Because I could not see it under all his disgusting wrinkles.
Whew. How old was the guy?
38.
No, he's practically dead.
That was pretty old in your time, huh? Wish I'd died at 38. Could have been a better looking corpse.
Well, he left an awful looking corpse. His face was all.
I'm guessing you had something to do with that, huh?
Not me. My boyfriend, Abertach. He told me he'd set me free. I suppose he did. He created a delightful poison for me. He said it would make my dear master die in excruciating pain. So, one night I lay with him, and that means I did sex.
She did
And
sex.
when he was pleased, I fed him the poison mead. Abby did what I couldn't, and the old fool finally died. But Abby never let me forget that he was the one who freed me. He wanted me to worship him.
A fella who demands to be worshipped is always going to be a dangerous man.
Dangerous men have always been drawn to me. Must be something about the way I am.
Oh,
Betty
dang.
is assuming that she has a unique problem, but unfortunately, it is not so.
Dangerous.
Now don't go blaming yourself for bad men being bad. I'm sure you'd rather be left alone.
Well, that's what I thought, but it seems I am a temptress. That's what the churchmen say.
And don't call yourself names. You don't want to prove them nasty fellers right, do you?
Hey, I got a distortion within a distortion.
You are so kind. Oh, I wish to put you in my pocket and feed you breadcrumbs.
I just want to feed you.
Look, you deserve to be yourself. If people are giving you the wrong kind of attention, that ain't your fault. It's theirs.
Exactly. Even Christianity, Jesus said, if a woman is tempting you, pluck out your own eyes. It's your fault for making her a temptation.
Heck, I think they should be in the chair you're sitting in right now.
Probably try to sniff it. Repellent little blood bags. No kink shaming, of course.
So what happened after you killed Cormac?
The Neil clan came after me and Abby. They found him, took their swords and went, stab, stab, stabby, stabby, stab, stab, stab. But Abby just laughed. That's how I found out he was undead already. Gave me the willies.
Ooh.
When they couldn't kill Abby, they decided to kill me instead. And that made him very upset indeed, because I belonged to him.
That must have been terrifying.
I suppose. Mostly hurt. Lots and lots. Getting stabbed is much fun when you're immortal.
Yeah, I guess.
I ain't too fond of it as a vampire neither.
Abby fed me his blood, though, and then I became like him. When I woke up, the Nail Clan who tried to kill us were all properly dead. Well, almost dead. They still had a lot of blood left, and I was hungry. The Nail Clan was ever so cross, though. They captured Abby and sealed him in a tomb with some forgotten spells.
Ow.
He's still there, as far as I know.
What happened to you?
I didn't have a future with my tribe. I insulted both my clan and Cormac's clan by killing their chief. My only choice was to be alone. That's the wisest choice.
That kind of all-or-nothing thinking could get us in trouble. If we think all is lost, we're liable to do things we wouldn't normally do. I know I did some stuff I regretted in them moments, and I sure wish I'd taken a breath and stepped back in all them times.
You sound so sad when you say that, funny cowboy man.
I'm all right. I'm just saying, you're a capable lady. You've always got more options than you think in a bad moment.
Oh, but you're just a child. I don't want you to be sad.
Well, I will be less sad, Medi, if you're thinking for yourself.
Well, let's focus on you, huh? You say you've been living alone ever since then?
Of course, my silly cowboy man. We aren't mortal anymore. We will always end up alone. Why waste my time?
Come on, Mitty. You're distorting a lot of reality there. All vampires ain't lonely. Some of us choose to be, but not all of us. Sure, mortals have a habit of dying, but there will always be more of them.
Exactly.
Not to mention all the vampires out there. Heck, I used to be in a vampire gang. Cult.
Oh.
Well, kind of both.
Yeah.
They weren't good company, but they certainly weren't lonely. I mean, ain't we talking? Well, there's loads of vampires out there who think like you do, and they're fulfilling their own prophecies of loneliness.
Don't be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You're being a mean little mouse now, and I don't like it very much. Maybe I should have killed you after all.
I'm trying to help you, Mitty. The world's changed a lot in the last 1800 years. A lot of it bad, but a lot of it good too. By and large, most people ain't burning witches and selling their daughters. That sort of thing's frowned upon by mortals these days.
It's true.
There are laws out there to protect folks now. It ain't like in old times.
May I tell you a story, little mouse?
All right, tell me a story.
Once upon a time, there was a very pretty young lady. Pretty, but also crazy. Like me.
I don't mean to interrupt your story so soon, but you didn't think I was going to let you get away with that one, did you? Don't call yourself crazy.
Exactly.
You've been around way longer than I have. You gotta know that sanity is relative.
I know I'm crazy, though. Everyone tells me so, even my zealots.
Doesn't mean it's right.
You know, crazy ain't supposed to be a nice word. So why
Exactly.
are you using it? Why are you creating a reality where what you are is crazy?
You are an annoying little mouse sometimes.
I know.
Very well. I won't call myself crazy in front of you.
It's a start.
May I continue my story
Of
now?
course, please do.
The pretty young lady Mary had moved in with her cousin, Mrs. Hultridge. At first they got along quite well, but one day Mary started acting naughty. She would shout, act unladylike, and even say that Jesus Christ wasn't very special. Mrs. Hultridge liked Jesus Christ very much and wanted Mary to like him too. When she didn't, this embarrassed Mrs. Hultridge.
Hard to get out of the reality you build for yourself sometimes. It is, and that's the whole point of looking at the distortions, is like, why am I saying this, and doesn't that just kind of like reinforce these thoughts that I have of myself?
She began to think something was wrong with Mary. After all, who didn't like Jesus Christ? Mrs. Hultridge said that Mary had begun to vomit up pins and
Right.
buttons, nails, glass, and bits of wool. Instead of being grateful for the free gifts Mary was vomiting up, Mrs. Hultridge said that she had been attacked by 8 witches in spectral form. Now, it just so happened that all 8 of those witches lived very close to the town where Mrs. Hultridge lived. Despite their magical prowess, the 8 witches were captured and put into the stocks, and all the people of the town were told that the women did not like Jesus Christ at all. So the Jesus Christ-liking people threw rotten vegetables and poo at the witches. And, just for fun, they gouged out the eye of one of them. Then they kicked the witches out of town and lived happily ever after. The end.
Well, that ain't a pleasant story.
It's not.
Oh, it was very unpleasant. It hurts very much to have your eye taken away, but I like my new eye. It's fun. I was 1,500
Oh,
summers old or
Jesus.
so when that happened. The world hadn't changed much then. I don't think it's changed much now.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Mitty. You're right. Folk can be pretty awful when they get riled up. That ain't changed.
Oh, don't be sorry, little mouse. I like my new eye. Also, the story has a happy ending.
I was going to say, even though she likes her eye, I mean, that's pointing out a positive that you can find about the situation, but still.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
After I had my eye taken away, I took Mrs. Hultridge's parts away too, one by one until she died. It was so much fun.
That's a little morbid, Mitty.
It's a little morbid, yeah.
Morbid Mary. Oh, I like that. That's very clever, little mouse. But you see why I'm careful now?
Yeah, I get it. But look, there's one thing that's different now, and that's
What we're doing right now.
it's what we're doing right now. In all that time up till now, therapy ain't never existed. We only just started looking at ourselves in the way we think. Before recent times, we only looked at gods, government, and society. The self is a new frontier, and we're learning stuff we never considered before.
It true?
The frontier can be kind of scary, but being on that frontier means moving forward. Come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Silly mouse. If something feels scary, that means that there must be something to be scared of.
I know you've been through a lot and you got damn good reasons for being careful. But there's a reason you came to me, right?
Yes, but it wasn't because I wanted to go outside. It's because of my fans. They're very demanding.
Right. That's why we were talking about your going for walks and went down this rabbit hole.
It's true.
Or, in your case, a mouse hole.
It's true. Very small mouse hole.
Anyway, therapy usually ain't about just one thing. It's about lots of things. If the problem is your fans, we gotta imagine unlife without them, right?
You feel comfortable in it. It's true. It's true about that. It's easy to get comfortable into a line of thinking.
Don't want to lose them all. Some of them are gentle. They're too weak to hurt anyone, which is why they don't.
You really think weak people would hurt others if they were stronger?
Little mouse, I've been alive for a long time. I believe what my eye shows me. Yes, if one is capable of hurting another, they do.
They can, but they don't always. You ever seen them capybara animals?
I love capybaras.
They're dang massive rodents and could do some damage if they wanted to, I reckon.
Oh, yes! Oh, they're very cute. People like to share animated pictures of them in my community.
Some folk are like that. They just want to sit around and have someone scratch their bellies.
Is that what you want, little mouse? Do you want me to scratch your belly?
I would like someone to scratch my belly.
What? No, I'm just saying, don't assume everyone's out to hurt someone. Yeah, it happens. Of course it does. But that kind of thinking ain't giving folks their fair shot.
It's true. It's true.
Don't know what I'll do if I don't have my followers. I can't live the way I used to before the machines took over. Oh, they expect so much of me now. They send me messages all night and all day. They need content. God, if I don't give them their content, they'll all leave. Their attention spans are like those of little bugs, but they're not as cute.
Okay, I think we need to talk about moderation.
Oh, I already have moderators.
I don't know.
Nice.
Medi.
Any major content creator has to have them.
No.
I don't know what that stuff means. I'm talking about moderation in your thinking. What if you gave your fans only what you felt comfortable giving?
Doesn't matter what I want, silly mouse. They just want me to overreact to video games.
Medi, you're thinking that mortals want only one type of content is forcing you to make only one type of content.
Yeah.
Your assumptions are keeping you from doing things you like. And you deserve to do things you actually enjoy.
Yeah, you don't deserve to just be stuck doing the same thing over and over again because somebody wants it that way.
You're very kind. I thought cowboys were supposed to be tough.
Can be.
Who says I ain't? I just don't have nothing to prove no more. Here, why don't we try something new for next time, since going out didn't go so well last time. I want to challenge you to take a day off.
Yeah, just a
Don't
day.
answer any
One
messages, don't post no content. Just do something for you and you alone. Take a sick day.
But we never get sick. We're dead people.
day. Still.
They don't know that, do they? One day. That's all I'm asking for. You need to give yourself a little space.
For yourself.
Very well. Since you've been a very kind mouse, I'll do it for you.
Thank you, Medi.
I'd prefer it if you did it for you, but we'll work toward that, huh?
That could be a step in the future.
Oh, I wish I had a big piece of cheese to give to you right now.
A lactose intolerance is kind of a side effect of death, but I appreciate the sentiment. I'll see you in a month then, okay?
Lactose intolerant. You know there's some lactose intolerant vampires who are like intolerant in life and were just like, I'm going to eat it anyway, and didn't realize it was going to follow them in death.
Yes.
Great. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, Medi.
You are doing well, my friend. I know we old ones can be rather inscrutable sometimes.
It happens.
She's human. We all are, ain't we?
At least
The way
we're.
I see it, we all got the same problems one way or another.
Your wisdom never fails to impress, Samuel.
Thank
I
you.
believe it is time for you to follow your own advice to Miss Medi, however.
What?
All work and no play makes for a dull vampire, as they...
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay.
I might hit the hay early and do a bit of reading.
Maybe.
If you must take out some aggression on hay, then please do so. I shall see you soon, my friend. Rest in peace.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy. Boom, boom, boom.
Dang, wonder how I'll feel about humanity when I'm 1800. Heck, I wonder whether there'll even be a planet.
Let's take a look. Oh, I haven't even been looking at these. Oh my goodness, I have not. Oh my gosh, I'll have to look at those in a second. Here we go. I completely forgot to look at things beyond my own client notes. Oh my goodness. But you know what? It's my ow. Thank you for the squirmy cookies. I do like that. Oh God, you broke my model. I'm gonna do that. You broke me. You broke me just a touch. But I need to go get my stretch out. It's fine. It's fine. I can clip myself back. Don't worry about it, Wolfie. Just enjoy some music or something, okay? I'm not. Oh, wait. I'm coming back, Flossie. I just need a break.
Is your cephalopod broken? Contact your nearest penguin. It's 1-0. Do you know weary and you family is?
All right, I'm back. I had to fix my model. Thank you for the clip, by the way, Wolfie. I know Lossie's probably really busy, so I'm just thank you so much for the hugs, and I hope you have a great day as well. All right, let's get back in the game. All right. Thank you so much for the welcome back, Giga. Medi got real good reasons for not being fond of mortals, but it might be narrowing her worldview. Very bad history. Sold to a rival warlord, killed by a wizard. I guess wizards are real now? Abandoned by her clan after she killed her new husband and became a vampire. Was pillared as a witch in the 1700s, had her eye removed. She thinks it's really funny. Sounds disgusted by her followers. I'll try to encourage Medi to do more things she likes for her own sake and get outside more. Let's take a look at this. Or still high strung. Hope. Big dish of the actor type. Funny birds. Yep. 3 more cognitive distortions. Oh, I haven't learned anything new yet. Oh, okay. All right. No problem. Yoop. Yep. Okay, cool.
I guess it's time to drown my existential woes in blood. Howdy there, Crimson.
You're sounding a little weary there, cowboy. You getting enough to drink these nights?
Oh, yeah, that ain't it. Just existential ponderings.
Just some ponderations. Oof.
That's just my specialty. What's eating you, buckaroo?
Dental visits.
It's this old client I got. She's been watching humanity hurting itself for 1,800 years.
It's a lot of time, seriously.
Every time she expected better, she got hurt. She ain't wrong to mistrust mortals.
That's a tough one. What do you do with someone like that?
Well, I tried to guide her to look inward like I do with everyone. People are people, but so is she.
How do you think she took it?
I want to say pretty well, but I don't know if it's a poorly kind of thing, but she said she's going to try, so I guess pretty well.
She appreciated the focus on her. I can't answer for all humanity, but maybe she can get answers from herself.
Hope so.
I think you could stand to listen to yourself, Ranchero. You could have been a mean old Dracula, and nobody would expect anything different from you. Reckon there have always been people like you, no matter how bad it's been in history.
Dang, Crimson. I can see why Andy respects you so much. You done some living, sounds like.
Death at the door can put things into perspective. I get where your client is coming from.
Good.
Changing the world isn't gonna happen, but we can at least change ourselves.
I don't think that's true. The country I left definitely ain't the country I was born in.
The wheels turn a little slowly for us mortals, cowboy. Back in D.C., I was trying to push policy to do something about our poverty problem, but the kind gentlemen across the street were pretty happy to make things worse. When I got my cancer diagnosis, that was my wake-up call to stop getting disappointed and start living with the little amount of time I had left.
It's a good idea.
Working at a bar is more rewarding than being a member of the bar, huh?
Not bad, cowboy. It's got its charms. Here, I whipped up something special for you.
That ain't half bad. Got a refreshing taste.
I wonder if not zombies, if vampires can eat non-food things.
Rose hips. Just a little something extra.
I thought those were rose
Experimenting
hips.
with some herbals for Andy.
I was gonna be like, oh, is that a rose hip? And then I was like, nah, not everything that looks like that is a rose hip.
Guess
I was
old
right.
dogs like us can still learn new tricks. Thanks, Crimson. I think I'll hit the hay now.
You hit that hay, Desperado. I'll see you later.
Got a lot on my mind tonight. I think I need some rest. Now, what should I do to relax?
Like the day with
I
Emerson.
always pick up a little extra perspective from Ralphie Waldo. Emerson, that is. Let's see if I can find a good passage. Bingo. In the woods is perpetual youth. Within these plantations of God, a decorum and sanctity reign. A perennial festival is dressed, and the guest sees not how he should tire of them in 1,000 years.
Pretty deep.
In the woods, we return to reason and faith. There I feel that nothing can befall me. No disgrace, no calamity, leaving me my eyes, which nature cannot repair. In the wilderness I find something more dear and connate than in streets or villages. In the tranquil landscape, and especially in the distant line of the horizon, man beholds somewhat as beautiful as his own nature.
Returning to nature to feel more whole.
Ain't that the truth? Future's always ahead, no matter how old we get.
Oh, okay, you kind of see it right behind my head. There's pictures and stuff like that. We had a picture of that.
That's enough for
We'll
one
get the
night.
TV next time, I
to visit
promise you,
Dreamland.
Wolfie.
Maybe I'll see my princess there.
Princess my pony.
Samuel, my dear, I do look forward to our chats. How are you feeling tonight?
I gotta confess, boss, I'm a little down. I love helping other vampires, but getting therapy myself sometimes ain't much fun.
True.
I understand. Looking in the mirror is difficult for any human, much more so when they don't cast a reflection.
So there are some people saying that vampires would be able to cast a reflection so long as the mirror is not backed with silver, which is what a lot of old mirrors are done.
You ain't kidding. It just seems like there's always work to do, you know? Like my walking in the woods for 90 years wasn't nearly enough time.
I dare say you are correct. I believe that we must never cease our walking in the woods. There is no mystery deeper than that of our own existence.
Where do vampires come from anyway?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, Samuel, when two vampires love each other very much,
Come on, boss, that's not what I'm asking. Where do we come from?
Yeah, like, tell me
the
about
answer
that.
to that is much older than recorded history, my friend. But let us focus on you.
I don't wanna.
We should start with some meditation and determine what thoughts are most important to you right now. Close your eyes and envision your place of comfort.
Ryan?
I ain't good at being a therapist. Is my hat weird? Ich bin Sam. Ich bin ein cool man. Election looks real bad back home.
Does.
Dr. Drain thinks I'm brain damaged.
Ooh.
Why'd my mama have to marry that asshole? When's the sunrise? The Senora hates my guts. Sure wish you were still here, Jeb. Actors need help, that's for dang sure. Wish I had more book smarts.
Ooh. Oh, right. I'm supposed to like knock him away. That all what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. Okay, something. Shala, how do I get rid of thoughts? Settings, how do I? Oh, I could have used a return to... Acknowledge my thoughts. Get it. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. There it go.
Mitty scares the heck out of me.
Meddy scares the heck out of me, too. And a little more an antidote. It scares the
You're
heck
an
out of me.
idiot, Sam. Hurting all them folk.
We are not hurting folks. We are trying to get through it. Okay. Go. Oh. Thought, acknowledge a thought, acknowledge a thought. Then...
Why'd I join up with a gang in the first place?
Good question.
How are you feeling, my friend?
Bit better.
Pretty good. I gotta say, my head's been a mess of thoughts lately. I think I was afraid of therapy today.
Why is that, my friend? What thoughts came up?
Just thoughts.
Well, after last time, I think I was stewing a bit. Just being real angry at myself for joining that nasty cult in the first place.
They preyed on the vulnerable, as cults tend to do. If you had been a man of means with a robust support system,
It's
I
true.
doubt they
Cults
would
do
have
that kind of
noticed
thing.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, I'm mad about that too. I mean, my country did me real wrong and put me in that sorry state to begin with.
you. This sounds like a proverbial can of worms.
Oh yeah, opening up and just letting everything fall out.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. After we talked last time, I kept thinking, what could I have done differently? And the answer amounts to horse shit. All that law breaking I did, all that murdering and stealing and doing no good, that was my country failing me.
Let us slow down, Samuel. You are making a bit of a logical
That's
leap.
true.
I have great admiration and empathy for you, my friend. But it is disrespectful to those you hurt to blame anyone but yourself.
True. Like, yes, the country could have failed by not creating a security system that made these things look admirable and good to use, but you still did it.
I mean, I guess I could have died. Suppose that would have been kinder.
Nope, we're being
That's
negative.
a lot to ask a boy to do.
I am not suggesting that you should have died. And I do not
Exactly.
suggest that your country was without fault. However, your country had its role, and you had yours. You are using a cognitive distortion called blaming. When we engage in blaming, we ignore or wipe away our own faults, attributing them to someone or something else.
Let's see. Blaming. We're not getting rid of disqualifying the positive, right? Because disqualifying the positive is canceling out good, leaving the bad. And blaming is the opposite of personalization. Instead of everything being about us, we act like it's all about someone else. Yeah, sometimes we're at fault. We don't want to admit we have some control. When we can't admit contributing to our own problems, we point the finger at someone else, and that blaming and distortion needs fixing. Examples: it's the barkeep's fault I lost my money at poker. He shouldn't have served me so much whiskey. Now I stubbed my toe on my coffin because someone must have moved it. I only missed my target because the gun maker messed up somehow.
Our faults are precious, Samuel. We cannot be ourselves without them. Do not wipe them away.
I mean, I just wish things hadn't been the way they were. If my country had taken a better trail, maybe I would have turned out different.
Differently. I am sorry to interrupt, but Signora Deste might correct you less gently. Now then, perhaps it would help to put blaming into perspective.
Yeah.
It is always humbling to see ourselves in the mirrors of our minds, is it not? Let's try some examples. See if you can tell when I am blaming.
Okay.
I turned into a bat the other day and flew right into a tree. Who put that tree there?
Blaming.
Blaming someone else or the tree for you being clumsy, that ain't gonna do anyone much good. I smacked into my fair share of trees back when I was a youngster, but that was definitely my fault.
Definitely.
Of course, there is no shame in being a novice flyer as a young vampire, but we can be insecure creatures. That's our humanity at work. I was unable to perform in bed with Crimson the other night. It must have been her fault.
Damn.
Dang, that is some blaming.
Got 10
Takes two to
distortions
tango,
correct in a
boss.
row. Yes!
Maybe there's some bad blood brewing between you two, and I wish I hadn't heard about it.
Do not worry, my friend. Crimson and I bring each other great satisfaction.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I get it.
I said nothing lurid, Samuel. Why are you so distressed?
Because I am.
Singing great satisfaction. It's like hearing your parents talking about their sex lives. I mean, not that you're. I mean, forget I said anything.
I'm okay with thinking about it.
All right, Samuel, let us move on. The interface on this widely used new vampire dating app is so modern. How do they expect anyone to use this cursed thing? We are trying to identify...
right. Sorry.
interface.
Come on now, boss.
You gave me two
Not every
options.
app out there is designed too good, but we can't expect machines to run themselves. Well, that's some blaming right there.
You are correct, Samuel. It was only hypothetical, of course. I do endeavor to keep up with the times.
Good.
By the way, thank you again for teaching me Control-V and Control-C the other night. What a
We're
delightful
teaching.
trick.
We're teaching our elders.
Oh, yeah. Way faster than going through the edit menu all the time.
You youngsters always find the latest tricks. Let's keep going, though. Did you see the football game the other night? My preferred team played with great skill and should have won. The referee was clearly an agent of the Dark Lord.
And now hold on, Andy. I think I saw the game you're talking about, and you're just blaming the ref for your team's mistakes. You got a great tight end, but one that plays a little dirty.
Excuse me?
I didn't mean it like that. I can't talk right today.
It's quite all right. Isn't getting dirty the point of play?
Isn't it?
It is the fault of the cursed sun that we must live in darkness.
The sun can't help being the sun, so don't go blaming it. The way I see it, we got our place, and that ain't nobody's fault.
Well done, Samuel. Perhaps the sun is even more brilliant in our memories, and seeing the real thing would spoil it.
Well, that's one way of thinking about it. I think I get it. I ain't trying to erase what I did. I'm just bitter that I felt like I had no choice at all. And it all goes back to the United States taking my daddy away for their manifest destiny. I'm mad at him, too. Dying for his country. What kind of nonsense is that? How'd his country pay him back? By making my poor ma marry a drunk who beat the daylights out of her and his kids?
Nope, that's blaming.
Damn wonder I turned out the way I did.
See, you're blaming the country again.
That must have been devastating, Samuel. Countries are not human. They cannot feel. And stories such as yours prove it.
I mean, what the hell, Andy? My daddy's corpse didn't give a shit about no United States of America. It's kind of funny when you think about it. He died fighting the British so the U.S. could say they own Missouri. Who the fuck cares? I'm telling you, Andy, the best thing about being dead is realizing how little that nationalism crap matters.
It's true.
Desire for identity can create monsters worse than we. What happened after your father died?
Well, we didn't have nothing. The money was running out, so my ma got married to a hard man who drank even harder. He beat up my older brother, Jeb, for fun. And once Jeb started fighting back, dear old stepdad came for me. And that's when my brother killed him.
It sounds like a tragedy from my own country's mythology. I am sorry that such a thing happened to you, Samuel. Your brother was brave.
No kidding. We went on the run together, but he was the one who kept us alive and fed, mostly through stealing and begging. Once we stopped being cute, begging didn't work anymore. So we moved up to robbing and killing. Killed my first man at 12, and then it got a little too easy.
That is young.
Yeah, that's really
I
young.
cannot imagine how difficult that must have been, Samuel. My country asked me to kill at 20, and I still remember how devastating it felt.
It's also got to be kind of different too, killing from a distance versus killing like closer up. If Andromachos had he lived in ancient times, so he would have had to gotten real close unless he was an archer versus Sam.
Nobody told me to do it. Like you said, that was all me. I don't think anyone was surprised either. When my brother and I rode into a town, you should have seen the way people looked at us. They knew we were trouble, and we were determined as hell to prove them right.
A moment, Samuel. I believe this is an opportunity for some growth.
Sure.
It's them distortions again, huh?
It's always distortion, Sam.
To err is human, as they say. Do not be discouraged. There is something in what you just said that you cannot be sure of. Can you tell me what it is?
People knew we were trouble.
I guess there ain't no way of knowing that people thought we were trouble.
That's right, Samuel. There is one way of knowing exactly what they were thinking, and that would be to read their minds. Thus is the cognitive distortion called mind reading. Yes, we can weigh evidence and make predictions, but never with complete certainty.
Are we learning, chat? Mind reading. When we assume somebody's thoughts, they have no opportunity to prove otherwise. People usually imagine I'm sitting here thinking about horses, but that is true only some of the time. It's mind reading to invent someone else's thought. We can't know him. That hombre's real quiet. He must be plotting against me. My blood partner's thinking of leaving me for a sexier vampire. He didn't say so, but I know it. When that lady saw my fangs, she must have thought I sounded like Bela Lugosi. Start learning, chat. We're all working on this together. Some of us can't afford therapy, so we gotta do it through video games.
I was a dirty little thieving murderer. I don't blame him for judging me.
First, that's labeling. Second, one of those people might have been patient and gentle. One that had an experience like yours. You cannot know. With your mind reading, do you see how you made everyone your enemy?
Yeah. You're right. You're damn right.
No one expects a child to be perfectly aware of themselves and the world, Samuel. Remember, start with compassion for yourself. Here, let us do an exercise to help you recognize mind reading. Jesus Christ would have disliked the idea of anal intercourse.
We're just shooting right out of the gate, aren't we?
I know that's mind reading right there. Unless you asked Jesus Christ himself and he told you, there's no way you'd know how he feels about butt sex.
Ooh, Vishala, I adore you for bringing this game to my attention. I have never thought in my life that I would be trying to learn about mental distortions of the mind therapy version and thinking about Jesus Christ knowing about butt sex. You're helping. I have to talk. Look at me, Vishala. I have to talk to my therapist about games I play, and I have to bring this up now. Okay? This means I have to talk to her about how a distortion butt sex.
Very good, Samuel. Many in my time have claimed to know the mind of Jesus Christ, and none of them have ever even met him.
I see you, Stitchy. Thank you for delivering. Are these pork bow or chicken? Okay, thank you. Stitchy. Oh, we're out of chicken? Okay, the pork still tastes good. Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. Oh yeah, the steamer is really nice. We got a rice cooker that also does steaming, and Stitchy has taken this to mean that she doesn't have to microwave her bao buns anymore. So, pork bao? Oh, please, I'd love some right now. Giga, if I could, I would offer you a bao, but I cannot. I'm just gonna wait for them to toastify a little bit, and then I'll. Are they extra hot? This must sweet. Ah, okay. Extra spongy then. Thank you. Moo. Oh, Mook was coming in, everybody. In my time, many have claimed to know the mind of Jesus Christ, and some of them have never even met him. You don't know if he'd be into butt stuff. Moo ran in, looked at Stitchy, and then ran back out. You nasty little girl.
You said butt stuff, no?
Oh, and I said butt stuff, she ran. Oh, yes, Stitchy. I told Stitchy I was hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. And she was like, I can make you bao buns. And I'm like, I would love some bao. But I'm out of food. Oh, yeah. There's a place I go quite a while back. It was definitely delicious barbecue pork bao. Maybe I'll take some pictures and put them on the Discord sometime to let you know which ones we're kind of buying. But they're pretty good. There's why can't you get some food, Mako? I want you to eat.
You were there when he was kicking around. You ever meet him?
No, that part of the world was never really vampire-friendly. The chair you're sitting in is one of his, though. Magnificent, isn't it?
Jesus Christ made this chair?
I bought it cheaply before he became a big deal. He was certainly ahead of his time as a carpenter.
Dang. Now I feel awkward sitting in this thing.
It's more than 2,000 years old, Samuel. It is still just a chair, and it's experienced millennia of past wind. Don't worry about it. Crimson is upset with me because I forgot to take out the garbage. I know, because she told me so.
You sure that's why?
Yeah.
It is up to Crimson whether she is upset or... That is the nice thing about good...
Dang,
Dang
so it's not mind reading then.
Correct,
No.
Samuel.
Dang
Let
it.
us keep
I
going.
knew the game was messing with me.
I sent my friend Vlad an internet message, and he left it on red. He must hate me.
I don't believe Jesus would add cushion to that chair. I think the base of it is probably from it. But if he was ahead of his time, maybe he would have added cushions.
That's some mind reading for sure. There's no way you know what Vlad's thinking. Maybe he wasn't ready to answer, or maybe he forgot.
Excellent, Samuel. That's correct. There are endless reasons why Vlad would leave my messages on red, and only Vlad knows them. Reading too much into an internet message is a massive waste of time.
You know what? Listen. Just because I do that a lot, I have to stop myself from responding to messages like the literal second I get them on Discord sometimes. It's why I step away from Discord a lot more, because I'm like, I gotta stop myself from answering literally the second somebody messages. You know what? Probably so. Yeah, about the base. Did you know that the cushions inside of couches can tell where people have been farting?
The Pony Express was a lot healthier, I think. This internet stuff makes people get real nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Mortals are in more of a rush than we are, I'm afraid. Let us continue. One of the patrons of my club was having dirty thoughts about me. I know because I read his mind with my vampiric powers. We are focusing on one of
But
the
that's not mind
Just a
reading.
sec. That's definitely mind
Oh.
reading. You read the fella's mind, so you knew what he was thinking.
There you.
That was a trick example, Samuel. It is not a cognitive distortion if I know the contents of his mind for sure.
You didn't know that, but you're concerned how to see that. Cushions traditionally turn more yellow, but there will be a coloration change. That's what shows that there was gas just being shot into it.
However, while it is not a distortion, it is rude to read another's thoughts, so I choose not to do so. It is better for all if private thoughts remain so.
You didn't actually read his mind then.
No, but at my age, the signals are obvious. He was having very dirty thoughts indeed. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, I would. Give me the option. Welcome back. I know, Giga, it's a terrifying thing, but you know what? People fart.
Come on, boss.
I can't resist teasing the American a little. I will proceed with more mind-reading state. I told our bouncer, Bert, a funny joke the other day. He was quiet, but very amused.
How the heck would you know if Bert was amused by your jokes? That's clearly mind reading.
Did you get something to eat, Mako?
You are correct, Samuel. No one knows what Bert is thinking. I like to think he dreams of butterflies. But who can say?
Fair.
I don't think he's thinking of butterflies.
Then you are mind-reading, Samuel. Let Bert be Bert.
Yeah, let Bert be Bert.
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe you now understand that mind-reading may have closed the door on some opportunities for you.
I suppose. I can't really know either way, but I guess that's the point of all this. Knowing what's real and what's not.
That's true.
Exactly, Samuel. So tell me, what happened to you and your brother?
You don't know already. I thought we were famous Wild West outlaws. They called us the Handsome Boys, on account of the fact that we were young and good-looking.
The handsome boys are coming to town.
I think we made as close to a living as possible while keeping up a life like that for some 35 years. They stopped calling us the Handsome Boys eventually. Mostly they just called us those two sumbitches. Jeb and I married a pair of sisters, even talked about settling down in some kind of fashion. I guess we got greedy, though. One last big job, as they say in the pictures. Met this fella in a saloon who'd heard of us. Went by Ernie.
Damn Ernie.
He said he'd help us take down the Pioneer Missouri Bank. A take of $30,000, split 3 ways. That's about $1 million in today's dollars, but that kind of money was unthinkable back when.
Makes sense, yeah.
We got the money all right, but my brother got shot in the head. Dead before he even hit the ground. I didn't know who did it. So in my rage, I killed every soul in that bank.
Oh.
Ernie and I ran off with that dirty money, but weren't nothing the same after that. When she heard the news, my sister-in-law was screaming so loud she scared the coyotes away. My wife left with her that night, and I didn't see either of them ever again. Not sure I wanted to. I had $15,000 and no interest in spending it. Just sat there in a sack. When Ernie invited me to join his gang, I saw no reason not to. I'm pretty sure I signed that devil's contract as soon as I started killing them folks in the bank.
I wonder if Ernie killed his brother. Like, I don't think the game will ever answer this, but he said he didn't know who shot him. But you didn't mention anybody in the bank actually having a weapon. What if Ernie shot him to get Sam in the groove?
I am sorry, Samuel. That is a truly horrifying story. I can hear the pain in your voice. Your brother was precious to you.
Yeah. He wasn't a good man, Andy. But he kept me safe. Without him, I knew I'd be doomed. I was certain I had no choice but to join the Mystic Bastards. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cognitive distortion.
I know you know, Samuel. A new one, but I think you can identify it on your own. What is the cognitive distortion you are displaying now?
I was too sure of my fate. No food? What? You gotta get some food, Mako.
I was so sure I was right to join the Mystic Bastards. Ain't nobody could have convinced me otherwise.
Indeed, Samuel. This cognitive distortion is known as being always right. And when you are always right, your choices are limited, even if they lead to doom.
Did you at least get something to drink, Mako? Always right. We'll all get things wrong sometimes, and we all know it, but in the heat of the moment, we might get so worked up we feel everything we say is correct. We might double down on opinions or even reject opposition first thing. In these moments, all of our beliefs feel always right. Disagreements have nuance, and although we might get a lot right, we're not always right. Example, the evidence is irrefutable. Bram Stoker was a vampire himself. I know the way around the canyon. No need to check the map. Don't question me. Blended in with mortals? I've done that for years. I know what I'm doing and don't need to change now.
We become so convinced that only we have the appropriate perspective, even in a world of infinite possibilities. One would expect immortals to be immune to this distortion after seeing their beliefs challenged over generations. But we are just as susceptible to being always right.
Babes, I got the always right.
Let's try some examples so you can identify when I am always right. I have the experience of ages. My authority cannot be questioned.
Okay, Boomer.
Excuse me?
Just something I hear the kids say when old mortal folk are acting like they're always right. The folks born after World War II are real good at destroying the world, but they assume age leads to wisdom. It ain't necessarily so.
Oh, looks like my titties got turned off. Hold on, Wolfie. There, some freebies for you.
You are always right about that. Well done, Samuel. With my multi-generational economic expertise, I am confident that market conditions will result in mass layoffs in the next quarter.
I don't know who cleared that, but goddamn.
Hold on, you can't know that layoffs are going to happen after the next financial quarter.
I did not say that I was certain, just that I had earned confidence in my prediction.
Okay, so it's not always right.
Modern
It was
stock
you.
markets are
Mako,
run
how
by
could
a
you?
couple of dark cultists, and one can make educated predictions about their behavior.
Come on. A little bit of my bao bun skin. Ooh, would you like a little bao bun skin? Okay. Ooh. Excuse me.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, they sacrifice all to the dark god of ever-increasing profit. You should know this, Samuel. Their dark gospel reigns supreme in your land.
Oh, right. I guess I never thought as institutional investment bankers as dark cultists, but you're right. That's exactly what they are.
It is. Ooh, you're... I didn't give him much of the skin.
If only they had chosen a more ethical god than unrestrained capitalism.
It's true.
I know that turning another into a vampire inevitably results in resentment.
That sounds like you're always right. I know a lot of us vampires ain't too happy with our lot in life, but we ain't always resentful.
That is correct, Samuel. Of course, we must be careful when choosing whom we turn and when. Choosing to live forever is not a choice casually made.
It ain't usually a choice at all.
But we will endeavor to break that cycle, my friend. We have enough clients already without having more resentful immortals running around. Let us continue. I know for a fact that vampires become misanthropic as they age. I do not need your perspective.
And now hold on, you ain't always right. You thinking we're gonna turn into misanthropes is limiting you from making new vampires, but that's just your thinking.
Exactly.
Very good, my dear Samuel. Caution is warranted when bringing a new soul into the dark, but I must consider perspectives other than my own. I have not had much good fortune with my children of darkness, but I am indeed not the only judge of character.
You got kids, Andy?
I had many dark children before I recognized the gravity inherent in doing so. I only wish more of my brethren could learn what a responsibility it is to begin the unlife of another.
A sire should always take care of their children.
I know the internet is a passing fad. I have seen technology come and go, so I can trust my own expertise.
I think you're doing a little always right there, Andy. A lot of folks had unwavering confidence that the fax machine was going to stick around forever, but they weren't right neither.
Truly? I still use my fax machine. It is the preferred mode of communication among vampires here in Germany.
Heck, I guess that just proves no one is always right about technology. I think I get it, boss. If I had found folks to listen to, other than myself, maybe I wouldn't have joined up with Ernie's gang.
Perhaps, perhaps not.
Yeah.
You had plenty of reasons for making the choices you made. Reflecting on them is what helps us to grow.
Yeah, I'm a lucky fellow all in all. I did some stuff with those vampires that I was pretty sure erased any humanity I had left. But I was wrong. Them transcendentalists I hold up with were
Yeah,
ready to help me no matter
this is
how
big
nasty I
brain
was.
time.
And I know I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything.
It is very big brain.
I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything. Is that so, Samuel? Can you point out your own distortion there? Samuel, you are discounting your own efforts in the incredible... I ask, Samuel, you are
There we go.
It's my old favorite sneaking up on me.
Damn it, I knew it was there for a
Disqualifying
reason.
the positive. I did plenty of work on myself.
You did. You worked out so long.
That's right, Samuel. And why were the transcendentalists able to help you? We just went over it tonight.
Wasn't always right.
I realized I wasn't always right. I was ready to start receiving help.
Yes, exactly, Mako.
Excellent, Samuel. Your capacity for self-reflection, and so quickly, is truly inspiring.
Good.
I almost feel as though my blood is circulating on its own.
Moo, did you growl or was that my stomach?
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just a fella.
You have earned a reprieve from disqualifying the positive, my friend. Embrace it. I believe we have had a productive session today. Let us not press matters. This is difficult work, and you are handling it wonderfully. How do you feel?
You know,
Feeling good about
I
it.
feel okay. Somehow it's better than feeling good. What happened is what happened. Some bad stuff happened to me, and I did some bad stuff. And none of it lasts forever. That's the nice thing about
It
having
was
all
my
the time in the
stomach.
world.
Mako, it's so loud.
Your trials have made you wise indeed, my dear Samuel. Now rest, my friend. You shall soon share your wisdom with your clients. I wish you a good night.
Yeah, I believe it's early coffin time for me tonight. Have a good night, Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace. Samuel, greetings. You look a bit pale. May I offer you something to drink?
I am thinking that that's our new notes. Yes. We've been here June 10th. We've been here since March. That is a lot of time. That's pretty good, though. Oops, go back. It's been a hell of a month. I've got a full caseload of clients. I'm picking up new friends at Immernacht, and Andy says I've been doing a great job. I learned 3 more cognitive distortions tonight, and I think I'm really getting the hang of this thing. I'm also learning a lot about Crimson. There's something special about that lady. I can see why Andy's a fan of her. Moo, if you do not want me to pet you, then don't jump on me. Seems like she could be doing a lot more than running a bar, but maybe that's me doing some should statements. Also some mind reading. I took a little trip to Dresden. Heck of a place. They had this emperor named Augustus the Strong who spent all Germany's money on porcelain. Wish I could have been his therapist.
Yeah, you got any drinker's blood?
I know you are joking. You will not dilute your blood before a session.
Meaning don't drink.
Yeah, I know, you're right. I just don't know who I'm meeting tonight. Is it gonna be Dr. Drain or that Lord Luridus fella?
You only met a single individual last time, and you will meet only a single individual this time. Do not let Dr. Drain's avoidance of accountability confuse you.
You saw the guy, though. Lord Luridus ain't nothing like Dr. Drain.
Kind of like an excuse for why he can act that way.
And why do you think that is, Samuel?
It is easier for Dr. Drain to blame him.
Well, maybe it's easier for Dr. Drain to blame Lord Luridus.
Correct, Samuel. A mild change in personality would be within Dr. Drain's control. Luridus is not, and therefore, Dr. Drain relinquishes control. Prepare yourself, my friend. Let us find the darkness that lives within Dr. Drain.
Core distortion is the should statements. Always right. Definitely blaming. Control fallacy. Let's try those.
All right, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Do not fear, Samuel. I shall not let Dr. Drain hurt you, no matter what he is calling himself. Do what you do best.
I will, I promise. And here he comes, whoever he is today. Doc?
Oh, well, I didn't think Lord Luridus would come to the session.
Somewhat taciturn today, then. Well, don't be upset with me. I did warn you about that beast. At least now you recognize the urgency in being rid of him. Perhaps now we can stop beating about the bush and actually fix my addiction problem. I'm here to help, but if we're gonna lick this thing, we gotta do it honestly. And that means getting to the root of the problem.
You're withholding all this about yourself, and you're not dealing with it, so it becomes Lord Luridus.
I tire of this self-examination process. There must be something efficacious that I can do. Perhaps some sort of aversion therapy.
You're already avoiding it.
I am willing to do whatever it takes to make that villain just go away. Then you gotta be willing to address the big old elephant in the room. And what is that?
Lord Luridus is kinda hot. You are the same person.
You and Lord Luridus ain't two different people. You keep talking about him like he's someone else, but you both got the same brain in there. Complete and utter nonsense. You've met him. We share absolutely nothing in common. And what's more, I am fully aware that he hates me.
So you hate yourself.
Take a look at this note he left on my desk. That's supposed to be you there with the micropenis?
I'm sorry, micropenis. God.
Indeed. Juvenile humor, to be sure. Certainly nothing I would produce.
It's pretty good.
Ain't he got the same penis, though? Quite so. I have no doubt he does the most terrible things with it. So somehow he's got a different brain than you do, but the same penis. Something ain't adding up here, Doc.
Well, yes, it is my penis. I mean, if you have a micropenis, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
I resent what you are suggesting. I have no effect on what Lord Luridus does. I know you're a pretty responsible fella, but you're giving Lord Luridus more credit than he deserves. What on earth are you talking about? You know that old stereotype mortals like to spread about us where we can't go into a place until we're invited? A ludicrous idea with no basis in scientific truth.
Does the most terrible things with your micropenis. Their micropenis. Communism over the penis.
As when you take that plasma stuff.
Hold on. I just realized something. There we go.
I didn't invite him in the first time. I had no idea what I had created. That his presence would become an addiction was not known to me. Dr. Drain, you're a scientist. Your stock and trade is in facts, ain't it? Let's leave thought out of this for now. You gotta be my scientist here and stick to what we know. Very well. Yes. The genesis of... Lord Luridus was in the actions and choices I took. Are you quite satisfied? Doc, we ain't here for my satisfaction. Do you really think that?
Yeah, come on. We're doing this because you want to change.
Well, the fact that I am upset right now certainly lends credence to the idea that you are trying to shame me.
Oh, I should have done the mind reading. Damn it.
I won't lie to you, Doc. The people that Lord Luridus has hurt probably would have a bone to pick with you. But I ain't here to punish nobody. That ain't the way to help you. In this room, we're working together. You're doing the hard work, and I'm just giving you support. Catch my drift, partner? And so you do me even greater shame through kindness. I cannot win. Perhaps I should simply let that beast, Lord Luridus, have his way with me. Come on now, Doc. You're jumping right to doom there. There are so many ways this therapy thing could go for you. It ain't we destroy Lord Luridus or Lord Luridus wins. Jumping right to catastrophe just ain't realistic. Already you're fighting him by being here. That means there's definitely something in the middle.
Yeah.
Working together.
Blend
we'll
together
make things
into a
better.
singular person.
Maybe not completely better. This work ain't never done. Of course, I am forgetting myself. I'm not usually prone to extremes. I shall attempt to be more mindful. I ain't expecting you to be perfect, Doc. And I don't want you to expect perfection from yourself either. What I'm asking you for is self-compassion.
Good, good.
That ain't erasing blame. It's just approaching yourself from a place of understanding. That's a scientific method, ain't it? I doubt many in the scientific community would agree with such a statement, but I believe I understand the thrust of it. We cannot address facts if we mask them in emotionality.
Kinda, yeah.
That's exactly it, Doc. I couldn't have said it better myself. Indeed. Thus my attempt to synthesize the thought properly. Well, thank the dark powers that made us. Someone in here's the smart one. Very well. We shall take a strategic, scientifically sound approach.
Best as we
will
can.
agree upon facts, develop hypotheses, test and validate. If I rely on the science, I will never be wrong. Hold on a sec. Before we jump in, Doc, I gotta challenge you. Even science ain't gonna make it certain you're always right. The answers science gives you might not be the answers that are best for you. I just want you to keep your mind open, all right? My mind is always open. I'm a scientist.
Sure.
I'm just gonna reflect that back to you and see if you think that's true. You're saying being a scientist means your mind is always, without fail, open. Well, I suppose that sounds a bit ridiculous.
Yes.
Very well. I shall endeavor to ensure that my thinking is flexible. Well, sounds good to me, compadre. Let's start assembling them facts. Can I ask you some questions then? You may. Let us begin. All right, so you told me that the thing that makes your plasma addicting is how good it makes you feel when you wake up from it. From your scientific perspective, what makes it feel good?
Probably the letting go.
From a chemical perspective, good feelings, or positive emotions, are the result of neurotransmitter action. Considering the specific emotions felt in the immediate moment are contentment and satisfaction, it is certain that I am experiencing an oxytocin and dopamine release. It is a primal limbic response. In laboratory settings, we observe a constant drive in animals towards stimulating the release of amygdala-receptive neurotransmitters. I think you're gonna need to boil that down for me, Doc. I did not come here to teach, but so be it. Ask your questions. So what's all this stuff really mean in the end, Doc? Why's this neurotransmitter stuff even matter? An intriguing question. Naturally, emotion does not have a practical evolutionary application on its own. However, these emotions signal to the reptilian brain whether or not we are under threat. Oh, well, dang, now I think we're getting somewhere. I think the answer's right in front of us. Oh? And what is it that your rooting, tooting brain can synthesize that mine cannot?
Why are we always going after my rootin' tootin', okay?
you don't feel safe on your own. Taking that plasma forces you to get that neurotransmitter hit. An intriguing theory. However, evidence stands against it. Like it or not, I am a vampire. The only thing that may threaten me is the sun or a more powerful vampire.
Do you really believe that?
I should not be experiencing feelings of mortal danger. I am not immortal. Logically, I should know such a thing is ridiculous. There's them should statements again, Doc. It doesn't matter what logic says. You still got that part of your brain that says it's in danger, and that part doesn't care about logic.
True.
An astute point, and an inconvenient one. That we should be saddled with such vestigial, primal concerns is most unfortunate.
I mean, you're not completely changing who you are from a human. You still have humanity, you still have your memories. You're not just becoming a brand new thing with just this change.
Can't avoid the fact that we still got them human concerns. At least we don't gotta poop, huh?
God, right? That'd be great.
Oh dear. And you are doing so well. At least I have nothing to fear from you. It's true, though. We're still animals, partner. We gotta satisfy the animal. Just not through pooping.
They're pooping.
But we are immortal. Why do we have animal needs, fears, and emotions? What possible use do they have? It is such a disappointing notion, however, to think that we cannot transcend our reptilian brain, even when we are beyond death. We're dealing in facts, though, and I think what we're coming to is that your reptilian brain doesn't feel safe.
True.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. But I must admit that it is somehow true. What a devastating revelation. Dr. Drain, for all his scientific achievement, is just an emotional little laboratory rat who bases all his decisions in fear. Man, you just jump right to that extreme. You're probably the smartest fella I ever met, Doc. You ain't a science god, but who is?
I mean, look at Victor from Arcane. Smart guy, but not a god.
I think
Wanted to
there's
be.
a lot of room between being a lab rat and being the perfect logical being. You are, of course, correct. I am letting my emotions get the better of me. Most unscientific. Doc, I want to go back to one of them things I was telling you about in our first session, and that's self-compassion. Let's say you had some vampire apprentice, a scientist like you, who didn't know nothing like what you know, and said they were down on themselves for all the reasons you are. What would you say to them?
Yeah,
Well,
be compassionate to
I
yourself.
would explain that progress is non-linear. The scientific method, in fact, celebrates failure. That which does not conform to theory still informs theory. Any chance you could put the scientist away and talk to their human side? Well, I suppose I would say that it is fine, that all things are temporary, and the universe does not care to condemn them.
There you go. Say it to you.
So how can we get you to say them things to yourself, Doc? My situation is not the same. I was trained in the age of discovery. I bear the responsibility for that age. But if this project of mine, to create the blood that will sustain the world, is not what I am here for, then what is my purpose?
Why do you need to have a purpose?
Well, let me ask you. What's the purpose of a gopher? Rodentia, Geomedae. Rodents endemic to North America, known for their tunneling ability and as agricultural pests.
But what's their use? Oh, we have an ad starting in like 30 seconds, sorry.
I believe they are the prey of owls, snakes, and coyotes, and are omnivorous themselves, consuming vegetables, insects, and small mammals. I wasn't expecting you to be so thorough. I don't think I knew half that stuff. I have come to learn nearly everything there is to know about mammalian biology as a result of my research. Please get to the point. I think I forgot what it... That is not encouraging. Hold on a sec, I think I've got it.
You're like a gopher.
Well, see, you're kind of like a gopher. Am I now? Pray tell, how am I like a gopher? Well, you live underground, and you're real alert all the time. And that's it. Science save us. Hold on, I think I remember now.
You're real cute.
Gophers have a purpose. Driving people crazy, that's what. Used to wreak havoc on the farmland back in Missouri. Absolutely ridiculous. That is not their purpose. It's an ill-informed anthropocentric philosophy defined and subscribed to entirely by said anthropocentrists.
Then what is their purpose?
I didn't know bugs could do that. Anthropocentrists, not arthropods. Humans. Homo sapiens. I am saying that you have created a purpose for the gopher that the gopher is entirely unaware of.
Ding, 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 ding.
So, who made your purpose, Dr. Drain? What? Well, I did, I suppose. So if you made it, you can change it, right? But how can I change my purpose? I have always been a scientist. So that's what I am. All right, well, let's take that scientific approach and try to figure out who the man behind the scientist is.
Anything, their purpose is to be part of the ecosystem. Yeah, I thought about that too, Mako. But,
Very well.
yeah.
If we look at the behavior of our subject, myself, we can infer a few things.
Just a few.
If we examine my behavior, one can draw comparison to a threatened higher-thinking mammal. I spend much time in ensuring personal safety and security. What about your more peaceful moments? What do they look like? I believe these feelings are only medically induced through my special plasma. However, Dr. Drain appears to be at rest when he is full and satisfied. And your synthetic blood doesn't do that for you. I am forced to admit that at present, it does not. Dr. Drain, what do you think of drinking something a little more fresh and human? I will not. I do not have to. That depraved vampire, Lord Lyridus, is the source of all that is base and vulgar about my person. Doc, you're blaming Lord Lyridus for something common to all vampires, including yourself.
It's true.
We need blood. That's just how it is. Ain't Lord Lyridus' fault.
And at this point, there is no way for you to, there's no veganism option.
Now, I know you ain't comfortable with that need, but you can't offload everything you ain't happy with onto Lord Lyridus. That just makes him worse. You have not been listening to me at all if you believe I have absolved myself of all vampiric frailty. I didn't say that. I'm saying you're distancing yourself from your needs by saying they're Lord Lyridus' needs. Well, what if you indulge Lord Lyridus once in a while? Maybe you could keep him from coming out. Do you not understand what I have been working toward for the last 400 years?
We do, we get that, but it's like, obviously you need
I
it.
will finally be able to transcend this thing that I am. I shall be a parasite no more.
It seems the Doctor aims to transcend his nature. Can any do such a thing?
I will finally be able to...
Oh,
It
no.
seems the Doctor...
I will...
Oh.
Come on, Dr. Drain. You're a scientist. You know mankind ain't got that kind of control over nature. Ain't you ever seen that movie where they bring back the dinosaurs? That film was scientific drivel. Its simplistic understanding of DNA should have alienated its audience immediately.
Well,
But
still.
then, who can guess with Americans? It was a good story, though.
Yeah.
And in the end, it wasn't a story about DNA. It was a story about controlling nature, which I'm sure you know ain't never worked. Your argument does not hold weight when your source of truth is a fantasy film.
Sci-fi. Sci-fi.
Dr. Drain, we really got to talk about some kind of middle path here. Back home, we tried the whole abstinence thing a few times, and it didn't go too well. We tried to stop drinking, and that just made people only do bad drinking.
It's true. Mafia, you know, it was a whole thing.
We tried telling teenagers sex was evil, and that just made them want it even more while being ashamed of themselves.
Yep.
What if you just tried to do some of them things Lord Lyridus does? Just don't do them the way he does. I find the idea utterly repellent. Yeah, but then you go and take that plasma, and Lord Lyridus makes the decisions. We don't want that, right? Fine. Fine. I'll drink some blood. But I warn
Good.
you, Sam, the price of failure is most dear. If I should lose my humanity, all of humanity will lose. Doc, you really can't be putting the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah.
That ain't something you can control, compadre. Now I know you're a capable fella, but the world is gonna turn with or without you. You think so? I can't imagine someone with my highly rational mind feeling so strongly if my prediction weren't firmly rooted in fact. I know it all seems real heavy right now. Just show yourself a little compassion and patience. Beating yourself up over a future that ain't happened yet isn't gonna help you. We need to go back to this thing I brought up before. You're a smart fella, Dr. Drain, but sometimes you're forgetting vampire commonality. We've all felt like the world was ending or that we're awful monsters.
Yeah.
But them feelings are our perceptions alone. Yes, I'm aware. Perhaps I've been a little too human in my foibles. However, you forget my training in history. I am not an average vampire. I was trained by the great Professor William Harvey.
That is.
I have had 4 centuries to unlock the secrets of animal biology.
But not human.
I have a duty to humanity and to my own legacy. A duty I should not fail in. Otherwise, what was it all for?
Dr. Drain is so...
I have a duty to...
Damn it.
Dr. Drain
It
is so
should-
certain
it should.
of what he must do. And
I have a... Hold your
I know.
horses there, amigo. You say you've got a duty to humanity? Well, that ain't scientific at all. It ain't just anthropocentric. It's Dr. Drain-centric. Nobody said you had to do anything. Remember when we first started talking, I told you about them should statements? Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing, compadre.
You
Just
shouldn't.
remember that
You
them
shouldn't
shoulds
it
are
up.
yours. Yes. I must be frustrating to you, Sam.
No.
I invoke the same delusions over
We're
and
all
over again.
learning about distortions and stuff, so it's fine.
Hey, come on, Doc. You should be proud of yourself.
You're trying.
You know what the difference is between you and vampires who never improve themselves? You're here. You've made a commitment to getting your head on straight. And you're getting there, my friend. Already you're making some big changes and investing in yourself. I can see it. So let's cut Dr. Drain a break. How about it, amigo? He doesn't need the weight of the world on him.
It's true. It's true.
There's only one thing he should do, and that's have a little understanding and empathy for himself. You get me? Yes, I get you. Very well. I shall try to keep a clear head, and I will arrange to drink some real blood. There's plenty of it in the lab. I shall just liberate some of it. Good man. We'll talk about how it's gone next month, all right? Indeed. Until then, Sam.
Good.
And thank you for your patience.
You deserve it.
I ain't got nothing but time, amigo. You can thank me by being patient with yourself. All the same, you have my thanks. I shall see you in a few weeks then. Farewell.
Well done indeed, Samuel. I think we are starting to see a new version of the good doctor in the making.
I hope you're right, boss. That fella's awful hard on himself.
That is normal, my friend. Being a vampire takes a lot of self-acceptance. He is only taking his first steps in discovering this.
You will learn. It's a learning process. You gotta get with it.
Yeah, fair enough. It took other people forgiving me for me to forgive myself.
And now you pass on this gift of compassion to Dr. Drain.
Trying to.
Now, Samuel, the evening is still young. See what the night has to offer downstairs.
That sounds good, Andy.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Do do do. Do 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 do.
I always come out of the doc sessions feeling dumber than ever.
Great session with the doc tonight. Sometimes his being a big old nerd can be a real help. He's looking at his problems more rationally now. He likes to blame Lord Luridus for his more animal needs, that he is denying his own needs and Luridus fulfills them. Has a lot of identity tied up in being an irrational scientist. Wants to transcend being a vampire. Must drink real blood. I encourage the doc to drink some real blood. I think his head ain't clear because he's starving, but I think it's a biological thing. Gotta remember there's always room to learn more. Exactly. And like, just because you're into a certain specialty doesn't necessarily make that better than anything else.
I'll check in with Crimson. She's always got some bartender's wisdom to share. Howdy, Crimson. Looks like a nice crowd tonight.
They're always a nice crowd, cowboy. We like to maintain an asshole-free zone.
Good.
I'll try not to be an asshole then.
I'm not worried about you, cowboy. You had a session tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, with the doctor fella. We had a hard talk about what being a vampire means. He's having a hard time coming to terms with it, even after 400 years.
I can understand that. I've stopped aging for the last 20 years and don't know how I feel about it yet.
You look good for it, though.
How do you think it went with him?
Well, he said he's going to try real blood, so I think it did well.
We're finally getting somewhere, actually. It's funny. A lot of vampires forget they're human, but he keeps forgetting he's a vampire. But just like we can't opt out of being human, we can't opt out of being vampires either.
Must have been a hard talk, cowboy. I sometimes wonder what I am. Staying the same age, drinking Andy's blood to live.
There's a term for it. I can't remember it, though.
Don't get me wrong. I like not being dead, but I still feel like I'm living on borrowed time.
Is this a good time to ask why you don't just join the dark side? It ain't that bad being dead.
I'm just not sure what I'd do with forever, you know?
Demi-vampire? It's like a Renfield or something like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us vampires can't answer that question either. I don't think there's one answer anyway.
There you go. So I guess I'll keep putting off the question.
The price of immortality is a heavy one. That is true. Somebody once brought up something that would be like a problem with like living forever. Like, what if you had something that you really loved, but it was destroyed and there was no way to fix it because the ways of making it are no longer there?
But nobody's rushing you, Crimson.
You think I'd let anyone? But thanks for listening, cowboy. Now why don't you go mingle? There's a new fella in the kink room who's very interested to meet you.
I guess I'll go be social then. Thanks, Crimson. Wait a sec, that ain't...
Greetings, my child.
What?
Keep your distance, amigo. I know our kind ain't had a good history, but I ain't in the mood for an exorcism or nothing.
Ah, my child of the dark. If I were to exorcise you...
Are you a
nothing
gothic
would be
priest?
left when I was done. Only the good Lord is free of sin. We are all children of darkness.
I also don't trust your accent.
Holy smokes, what Bible have you been reading?
I know my scripture, my son. However, I am by scripture and dark metal ordained.
Oh.
By any church of man.
So, you're some kind of freelance priest?
Yes, I suppose I am. It is the only way I can give succor to those who need it most.
So I gotta ask, seeing as we're in a kink room, what kind of sucker are we talking about?
Sam completely forgets that he has been in the kink room with no sex going on.
I follow in the path of the Lord. I share my body, and I share my blood.
Ooh.
Ain't this a little blasphemous for your kind?
To whom, my child? God is in everything, including you, sweet vampire. Can God blaspheme against himself?
Maybe?
I
don't
merely
know.
wish to give comfort to those who live in darkness. And so, I choose to live in darkness with them. Come, my son. I shall give succor to you.
Well, all right. Maybe if you stop calling it that.
There we go.
Thou shalt not
my.
want, my son. Are you comforted?
I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess I am.
I know those of my faith of
Is that Arthur Morgan? God, right? You'd
Perhaps we
hope.
fear our own sin, so we seek the sins of others.
I mean, Freaky Morgan, Vampire Morgan. Nah, they have had a discussion about Red Dead Redemption. What, Vishala? What? Guess what? What? What am I guessing? Better not say chicken butt. Sorry, doing a big stretch. Andy is voiced by Matthew Mercer. Really? Huh. I did not know that.
I seek only the Lord in everything, as do we all, whether we know it or not.
Wait, is this also Matthew Mercer?
You ain't wrong, I suppose. Hey, a little awkward, but what's your name, fella?
I am Kieran. It means little dark one. The night always did call to me.
Because this definitely sounds like when he does an Irish accent. It does sound like, every time I'm listening to him, like, this? It's spelt with a C, but yes.
Well, Kieran, I'm Sam, and I appreciate the blood, but I'm gonna turn in. A little sleepy now.
Go with God, my child of the night.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you, Vishala, for confirming with IMBD. They got O'Driscoll! Ew.
A fine evening to you, Samuel. Are you ready for tonight's session with Signora Deste?
You think you're wrong about how he voices, you're confirming now. Go for it, you got this.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're making some good progress.
That is wonderful. Remember, though, that the road to inner peace is not a straight line.
It is not.
True enough. I like to say I didn't make my path. Nature did.
Samuel, you have the makings of a poet.
Oh, I meant it more literally. When I was walking in the woods, I just walked where the land led me.
But you see, this is a wonderful metaphor. If there is a valley between two mountains, that is the path nature takes us on. We often choose to climb the mountain instead when the easier path is made for us.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the hearing it in Arthur's voice line. As a warning, though, I'm playing Red Dead on Thursday, but it's going to be a bit of a later stream because I finally got a dental appointment from the VA. I'm considered 100% disabled by the VA.